You sent, I gave you both, right? Okay. We're going to send back the exhibit list and the answer to the question that I've already given you. That takes care of everything at this point in time. I'm still going to give a 30-minute warning with some grace for the people to get here. I know that it may take them somewhat longer. Can you give me some idea of generally where they might be coming from?
Well, I think we've got Landon and her family here. Al and his side of the family, I'm sure, are just waiting for us to give them a call. They live in town. So
Okay.
I think in all likelihood, we'll be fine with 30 minutes. I'm just saying if that becomes an issue,
No, if it does.
you never know.
Right.
And you've been very gracious with that the whole time, Judge. So
Just let me know and we'll deal with it. Otherwise, I'll let you know when I hear something.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Court will be in recess.
All right.
Wow, I just start and then they go on recess. Okay, let me know if everybody can hear me. Can everybody hear me? And good morning, Melanie, and hello, Prince Daniel. Melanie, how long did they say to recess? Because I was just starting here. This is crazy. How long is this supposed to be this recess? Dang, I just started. If it's a long one, I'm just going to start all over again. I'm going to have this big old gap in the beginning. All right, so you hear me loud and clear. Okay, awesome. We got good. We can hear me clearly. Just started to watch this case. Hey, Pat, and welcome to Donna Just Being Real. And we got Deb up in here. Good morning, all. And I've been here for a while before I go to. I'll be here for a while before I go to work. Alrighty now. Alrighty. Send me the link. Okay, I'll send you the link, girl. Drop the link down. I love it. Okay. Da-dun, da-dun. Okay, girl. You got your link. And you're sure enough welcomed up here. They go to link. All right. What can I do right now? Y'all said you hear me clearly. Yeah, we're gonna wait. All right, Melanie jumped up here. All right, Melanie. There she goes. All right, Melanie. Oh, let me change. Because before you start the echo. The echo. We don't want no echo. All right. Shouldn't be no echoes now. All right, Melanie. What you got for us here?
Okay. All it was jury questions.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the only reason he went live. And I'm just going to tell you that he announced that he had jury questions before the jury was due in at 9 a.m. So those questions were from Friday, in my opinion. So the first question the jury had was if they could have an indexed list of all exhibits.
So that means kind of break it down.
For a long day.
Oh, sure. That's what it sounds like too. Because all the exhibits is all the evidence, right? That's basic exhibits. That's
exhibits.
What we're talking about.
Exhibits. There's a difference between evidence and exhibits, and what can go back to, as we're going to find out in the next question, what can go back to the jury room for deliberations. So then the second question was, they wanted to have both the preliminary and final reports from no other than Dr. Lewis. And the judge said no. That reports from experts are not exhibits, and they can't have them from Torres or any of the other experts either. So they do not get those preliminary and final reports. And somewhere in there on a hot mic, Mr. Tolini says something came up over the weekend, but we don't know what that is. Nothing else was said about it.
Okay.
So when we went back into recess, it was just to give the jury what they had asked for, and we're back to deliberating. Oh, the judge did say he'd give leeway for the family to get there if there's a verdict. Landon and her entire family is in town. Al and his entire family live local. So 30 minutes. Once there's a verdict announced, we'll only wait the 30 minutes because everybody's in town.
Oh, okay. Now, so the stuff that they wanted, we have to go through. That can this break can take an hour or so. How long he said this break is going to be?
There's no time on it because it's back to deliberation.
Oh, so we all just sitting around.
So we all just sit around and we don't know anything until those cameras pop on again. And I don't know. I'm not on Twitter. Did anybody see this pop up on Twitter? Anybody in our chat? Did anybody see it pop up on Twitter that there were questions?
Did anybody see that pop up on Twitter? Because I haven't been watching the Twitter on. I haven't been watching Twitter on this.
Do you have the Colorado court Twitter?
No.
There's a special Twitter, Colorado courts, for this trial where the judge will announce everything. But I don't do Twitter, so I don't even have a link I can give anybody. I mean, I could find it somewhere, but
Pat,
let me hit Google, Donna. Let me hit Google.
Yeah, Google it, girl. God, so we all sit here like, so we might be an hour. So, oh my gosh. Oh, but Pat, I'm just calling you Pat. But, Melanie, before you Google, you there?
I'm here.
All right, Pat, if you don't mind, Pat says this is her first time. Don't know the case yet. Would you like to give her a little brief summary about this case in case anybody else will be popping in? Don't know. You pretty much on point with this. This is, I know it's hard. I know, put you on the spot. Brief. Yeah.
Okay, Pat, here's the scoop. The woman on trial for murder is the stepmother of the victim. The victim was an 11-year-old boy, beautiful boy. Dad is in the National Guard, so he'd gone to Oklahoma for 2 weeks of training, and this evil woman decided to kill that beautiful little boy. 18 stabs, 4 blows to the head, one of which crushed his skull. 3 gunshots, one went through his jaw. Oh, and because as if that's not bad enough, she also doped him up on hydrocodone. It looks like this went over a period of a few days. She then put him in once he was dead, we hope, she put him in a suitcase and stored him. Then she took him to the wood. Oh, she put him in her car, left him at the airport. Then she took him up to the woods, dropped him in the snow, went back, got him, and hauled him to Florida, where she threw him off a bridge, but he didn't make it into the water. They found him. She was arrested. They found him, and she's been sitting in jail for 3 years. Now she's claiming, after 2 years of sitting in jail, 1, 2, 3 competency hearings, now she claims she has DID. She has a dissociative personality disorder, and she's claiming all these alters. So she's trying to get an insanity defense.
Okay.
It was a rough case. It was a rough case.
Yeah, Pat, this case is insane. And Melanie, thank you. You did it awesome. Awesome. I know that was challenging trying to make that brief because this story, I mean, there's so many, Pat, there's so many twists and turns to this whole thing. This woman's a compulsive liar. The pregnant woman with the money belly. Where did she come up with that? Melanie, I don't understand. How do you come up with that one? Oh gosh.
there's no less than 20 different stories she has come up with, and the way she tortured his father and his biological mother for what, a month and a half. And I mean, there's a couple stories of the R word. There's
Mm-hmm.
She's blamed his bio mom and said she kidnapped him. She said he's been trafficked. There's a man in the road that she had to stop or she'd run him over, and then he got in her car. And I mean, it's just, she's not wired right. But
Really
I
isn't.
don't think she's criminally insane.
Yeah, I think she just basically serving the devil. She's doing the devil's work.
Yeah.
That's just basically it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I see you, one busy mama, and frugal hugs and kisses to you, and good morning. And this is the verdict watch. We don't know exactly what's gonna happen. I mean, I thought it was gonna get somewhere, but like I said, the jury had questions. I would have, so we don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, you said you're Googling, right? You doing the Google thing?
I'm on Google right now.
Okay. So take your time, do what you gotta do.
I found it.
Okay. Go ahead. Make sure everybody hit that like button. I got 11 people here, only 5 likes. Or is that me? I don't know. I'm seeing it right here.
Okay. I think. Okay, here it is. So Donna, I don't know how Twitter works.
Okay,
It's
I'm
just,
not that either.
it's just, I'm gonna come put this in the chat for you.
Okay. You wanna share it? You can share it. You're not sharing your screen?
I have to go. Wait, I have to find another screen, you guys. I'm not a pro. I
Okay,
am
take
not a
your time.
professional.
Take your time. We got time here. We all chilling. No judgment. Yeah, you can share it on your side and bring it up, and then we'll read it. You can go from there.
Okay, it's just CO Colorado courts on Twitter.
Okay. You know how to press share? Press share on your screen?
I put it in the chat, Sweet Pea.
Oh, okay, we'll do it that way then. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Oh, Pat.
Oh, wait a
Sad
minute. You put it.
indeed.
I don't think it's gonna be able to go through. I have my links blocked. Darn it.
Oh, you know what? Okay, wait a second.
Unless you can send to my email.
I'm gonna go into the StreamYard chat. Just there you go.
Maybe I can do it.
Did you find it there?
I see you wrote something. Is that supposed to be a link, or you just telling me that's the go-to?
I don't know how Twitter works.
All right. Try to see if you can get the link and send it to my email. Send it to my email, and then I'll pull up from the email. And ladies and gentlemen,
I see it. Wait, okay. I see it. It's all in blue.
Yeah. You're getting there. You're getting there, girl. You're getting there.
I'm going to come back and put this in the...
And yes, Pat, this woman is a complete monster. But we're going to give you a little... See, my channel is about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationships. Correct? Yes, baby. Give me a second. Oh, really?
Oh, meow, meow.
We're really going to go there right now. Yes. Okay. Just give me a second. All right. My channel is about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationships. Advice channel. So another reason why I'm focused on this because it has to do with the dating. Now, Al and Letecia got together, and they was only dating for 4 months, and then they got married. Red flag, red flag, red flag. And Al at that time was married to Gannon's biological mother. See, keep cheating. Number 7 of don't commit adultery in the 10 Commandments. So. If you'd have known this girl a little bit longer, you'd have realized that she is insane and shouldn't be around your child. So that's just another red flag. Or not trying to put no blame on Al and this and that, because not saying Al wanted this to happen to his kid. Of course not. He didn't. But we have to make a little bit wise choices. So many people just dating somebody and they just like for a couple of weeks. Next thing you know, the person proposes to them. No, that's not really love. That's called lust. Okay. And once the lust clears up, then you're going to start to see who that person really is. And they might not be a good person. And people need to make better choices of who you bring around your children. Now, I know things ain't work out with your child's father or child's mother, and you two broke up for whatever reason. Right. And nobody's saying that you should not be with anybody else and you should date someone else and have a good time. There's nothing wrong with that. But why are these people bringing these complete strangers around their children? Get to know the person and then gradually bring them around your children. And especially a lot of women, they meet somebody and they just move the person in, let the person move in around their kids. And next thing you know, I'm doing a story on it that this person killed their kids. Not everybody comes into your life with good intentions. Some people come into your life with bad intentions. They have these little sick, twisted things. They could be watching your children, if you know what I'm talking about. They starting to develop, if you know what I'm talking about. It happens. But so many parents, they put their needs before their children. And you have to realize when you're giving life and you're having kids, your children come first. If you're not willing to sacrifice for your children, well, then you shouldn't have children. It is what it is. These are all my thoughts and opinions. And if somebody have something to say about it, feel free to talk to me. Hey, I'm willing to listen. Just be respectful. All right, now let's go back. Now, you said that you find it? You sent me the link?
I did not send you the link.
All right, let me see.
But I'm going to try a different method of getting it.
Okay.
So why I'm waiting for that to pull up. I sat down because the jury instructions, the verdict forms I was very confused by them. So you guys, I literally sat down, put the judge on half speed and listened to what he was reading off from.
Okay.
So we are down to only 4 charges. There are 8 missing charges, which are all enhancers.
Oh.
I don't know if those have been dropped. There's no court record of it.
Nail, Gigi, I see you, girl. I see you. Mm-hmm.
But here's what a form will look like. So let's just go with murder 1 after deliberation. So it'll be charge 1, murder 1 after deliberation, section A. Then they have not guilty or guilty. So they choose whether they find her not guilty or whether they find her guilty. And then it says, if you found not guilty, fill out section B. So then if they found a not guilty, then they come down to section B. And they say, and it says, did you find defendant not guilty solely based on insanity? Yes or no? That's the way it is on all 4 charges.
Oh.
So the reality is they could literally find her not guilty and sane, where she could just walk out the door.
So she could be, wait a minute, maybe I'm lost. Quick repeat. Rusty, hugs and kisses to you. Monster, enough said, a good. Oh, God, I can't.
Well said, Rusty.
He just comes in just like that. Okay. All
Rusty,
right.
do you have Twitter?
Rusty, dun 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 dun. All right. Oh, Nell, Gigi, you haven't missed anything. You're good. We just sitting here waiting. I guess the jury has some questions. We just wait until they come back, and we don't even know how long it's gonna take. You know what? I got the strange feeling nothing's gonna happen today.
An index list of all the exhibits? Isn't there like 400 or 500 exhibits?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
There's so much to go back to the jury room that they had to set aside a second room for all the evidence.
You rusty. You rusty. Wait a minute. Let me see. I know I have a Twitter. I don't know if I could pull it up on this computer. Let me see. I'm not really too active on Twitter. Let me see.
Okay, now I've pulled it up.
Let's see. Wait a minute, maybe I can. Wait a minute. And you said, I'm going to the thing. You said CO courts? CO courts,
CO
right?
courts. Yeah.
Everybody who's coming in, make sure you hit the like. We just, chit chatting. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer the best ability, but we still sitting here waiting. All right.
We got
Now,
nothing better to do.
yeah. I actually finished up my work early, so I'm done. Okay. All right. See, where do I go? See, it says CO. Okay. Oh, okay. I might got something called resolves liberty. Is that it? Is that what I'm looking for?
I just sent it to your email.
All right, you send something. Let me see if we're matching up here. Matching up here.
Good morning, Gigi.
Okay, you said you sent to my email.
Okay.
Oh, did y'all hear about these crazy students over the weekend? Lord have mercy. Okay, all right. Let me look at the emails. I think I found it, but let's make sure it's the same one that you were talking about. The one that you're.
Donna, I'm going to answer Gigi's question.
Oh, hey, go ahead. Answer anybody's questions, please, please. Go
Okay,
ahead.
Gigi, the way the verdict forms that go to the jury look is under each charge, and there's only 4 of them left. All of the enhancers, none of the enhancers went to the jury. I don't know what that means. But let's go with the first charge. Murder 1 after deliberation. It says Section A, not guilty and guilty. Then it says, if you found not guilty, fill out Section B. Now we go to Section B, and it says, did you find defendant not guilty solely based on insanity? So they have a yes or a no. If they say guilty and then they say no, she's not insane, but she's not guilty. She walks away. I don't like it.
So
I don't think anybody could find it that way.
She can actually walk off, go home.
Yeah, she could actually walk away not guilty and sane. The way these jury instructions are written.
I see you, 603. Hugs and kisses.
Even though this entire trial, they have admitted her guilt. Her attorneys have admitted her guilt. She admits her guilt. The Dr. Lewis admits her guilt. But it is the way it's written. So, Gigi, I went back and I played the judge's instructions at about half speed and just wrote them all down. And I was a little on the shocked side.
Oh. Okay, I found it. I found it.
You found it. Okay.
Because I was listening to you. I was like, nah, Melanie ain't saying what I think she said. You did say what I think you said.
I said what you think I said.
That's why now Gigi was like, wait a minute, can she rewind? Because we know Melanie ain't say that. Oh, shoot.
No, Nail. If the jury finds on any charge, if they find her not guilty, then they go to the next column that says, did you find defense not guilty solely based on insanity? If they check yes, then that's not guilty by reason of insanity. She goes to the mental hospital. If they mark no, that means she's sane and not guilty, that they didn't prove her guilt. Then she would walk.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put down the link in here if anybody wants to, come up and chat or whatever, hang out, because we really don't know what's gonna happen, how long this is gonna be. Wow.
Okay.
This is crazy.
So Gigi, so here's the next one. But if
Okay.
they mark in section A that they found her guilty, they don't go to section B. She's just guilty. No insanity, nothing else. So it's a lot for the jury to look at. And I felt much better about them taking a little break over the weekend.
So basically, this jury is really on point. They really trying to make a decision because they see that how this can turn. Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
and that's
Uh-huh.
another thing, a little tidbit of information. Remember how Dr. Lewis had diarrhea of the mouth and started talking about the lawyer had already told her it's going up on appeals and blah 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 blah. The jury very clearly heard that. So they might be putting a little more effort and time into it to protect the record on appeals from anything they might have done if they made a hasty decision and anything like that that could come up on appeals. So there could be that.
Strong possibility. Strong possibility. Wow. Now this woman can't. And you see them? There was little Kiki holler with that crap this morning. The lawyer and her again.
Oh no, it happened so fast I didn't see it.
I know I caught like the little bit when I was trying to set this whole thing up. Oh boy. I'm going, ooh!
You popped up and I was
Uh-oh.
running out the door to find you.
Let me put you on. She said, forget this back door. She coming up. Okay. Let me put the link again. And come on up. Let's talk about this. And there goes the link. And you don't have to show yourself or nothing, just be comfortable. Just come on up. All right. My channel more of a podcasting anyway.
I always exit my camera, Gigi.
Yeah, this you can just exit out. But feel comfortable. All right. So I have this up. I don't know what to do with it. I mean, I'm not so savvy on here. Okay, what should I go to? I don't know. Do I got glasses? Can I see?
Well, if you follow them on your Twitter, you'll get notified that they posted something. So you'll know when they're going to come back into the courtroom.
Twitter. Wait a minute. Am I turn off? No, I just did it. Okay, well I'm followed.
Okay, now you'll get notified on your Twitter that they're coming back.
Okay.
But again, that jury wasn't due here until 9 a.m. and those questions were submitted before 9 a.m. So those questions came in Friday afternoon.
Oh.
Those didn't come out this morning.
This is just really crazy. I'm trying to think. Should I show like a video clip or something? We can watch something that's a little bit older in case anybody wants to hear. I'm still have it up because nothing's happening. I have the screen up.
Can you get back and replay the video of this morning?
The beginning of it?
Yeah, or
No.
is that gone?
No, I could do that.
Let's go see the Kiki moment.
All right, let's do it. All right.
Well, gosh, dang, it's your channel. Don't listen to me.
No, Gigi. Oh my God, you a doll. Hi. You pretty girl. Hey, pretty girl. All right, now Gigi in the house. Welcome.
Excuse me. My kids are in the background, so I hope they're not too loud.
Oh, the angels. That's all right. We love to hear the angels. We love to hear the angels around here.
I am just blown away. I don't know what to say.
I see you all. You like drop the link because I gotta get.
I guess I'm just having a hard time understanding. So not guilty, but not insane. Or what is? I'm sorry, Melody. I keep asking you to repeat it. I guess I just can't. I don't. It's not registering correctly with me.
Who in their right mind could think the girl is sane and not guilty?
Right.
She's guilty as sin.
So
However,
if
that's not what the verdict form says. That was
so,
still,
okay.
that's
If
still a question on the table.
if she's sane, okay. If they say that she's not guilty, they can choose either insane or sane. You said,
Correct.
and if they say that she was sane, she goes to prison.
No, okay. If
Sorry.
I should scan this and send it to Donna. Okay, so the first section
Okay.
says for each charge, the first section is section A. And the
Mhm.
two options are not guilty. It's the first one. Second
Right.
one is guilty.
Right.
Then it says, if you find not guilty, fill
Mhm.
out section B.
Right.
So now you drop down to section B.
Mhm.
And the question is, did you find defendant not guilty solely based on insanity?
Gotcha.
If they say, yes, we found her not guilty because she's insane, she goes to the mental hospital.
Right.
But if they write no, that means she's not guilty and she's
It's-
sane, so let her go home.
Oh my
Let
goodness.
her go off somebody else's kid.
Right.
And that's on each charge. There's only 4 charges that the judge sent back to the
Mm.
jury.
Right.
There are 8 other enhancers, and they are crimes of violence. And there's
Mhm.
4 of them per murder charge.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know if the judge decides that or if they've been dropped.
See, because I remember with Daryl Brooks, the judge decided, remember if she wanted to add, what is it called, enhancement or whatever? Remember she decided if she wanted to add that or not.
Did she? I went back
Yeah.
to I started thinking about the Daryl Brooks and I wondered, I couldn't remember. So many trials have happened. I couldn't
And
remember if that was part of those charges that the
it,
jury.
it was, but I believe so, and I believe she ultimately decided not to add them because he was already getting so much time anyway. She said it just didn't even matter. If I remember correctly.
I think he got him.
Did he?
I
Okay.
think he got him, but he got him concurrent.
Gotcha.
But the life sentences were consecutive.
Okay.
So each of these enhancers have the ability to add half of the sentence
Mhm.
or up to the full sentence. And there are 4 enhancers on each of the murder charges. But again, I don't know if they dropped them. There's no court record of it.
Mhm.
There's no that would have had to have been a motion in front of the judge. There's none of that.
I don't know what to think. I really
Deb
don't.
says he did not get the enhancements.
Okay.
Okay, so there's 2 of you that think he didn't. I think that's safe to say. Confirmed.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I believe at the end she said, I guess because he already had, what does he get, 1,000 years or whatever? She just didn't bother with it, I
He
guess.
just got all.
Yeah.
He just got all.
So they never found the murder weapons, right? Did they find them?
They have not found them, but in one of her talks with Dr. Lewis, she said, oh, no, they found the gun. They
Okay.
don't know what hit him in the head.
Right.
In one of her talks with Dr. Lewis, she says she used a kitchen knife and there is one knife missing out of their kitchen knife block.
And they never found the clothes.
Her clothes,
Mm-hmm.
they never found her
Dang.
clothes.
Well, I can You want me rewind it? I rewind. Well, I have two screens up. So I have the other one open so when they do start. But I went back to rewind. You want to see the beginning, y'all? The beginning of today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hopefully I got the right point. All right. This should be it. Let's
I'm
get
gonna mute. I'm gonna mute and step away for a second and get some coffee.
Okay. Just don't leave us. Don't leave us. All
I'm
right.
I'm not
gonna mute
leaving.
All
too.
I'm
right.
in mountain
You
time.
do.
I've only had one cup of coffee, so
Okay. And you too, LTG. You can't go nowhere. We hold you
Okay.
hostage. All right. All right. I don't know what it's stuck. All right. Let's hear. Um, ladies and gentlemen, this is
All
today,
right,
this
court will
morning.
call 20 CR 1358, People versus Letecia Stauch. Record should reflect the jury is not present in the courtroom. I've asked everybody to be here because I've received a question from the jurors. It's actually two questions. The first one is, can we have an index list of all exhibits? And do we have that?
So we have two different versions of the exhibit list that we brought based on Mr. Sproul giving us a heads up about this. One has every exhibit, even the ones that were not admitted. And then we have one that's pared down that has every admitted exhibit, which I think would probably be the best one for the jury.
Right, I agree. Okay, so I just need the one that has, oh, you got it? Okay. I just need the one that has the admitted exhibits. And I want to make sure that it also has defense exhibit. There was
Well,
one.
we weren't keeping track of defense.
Okay,
exhibits.
there's only one, so I'll write it on there. So that'll
Got
be
two
fine.
copies, Judge. May I have-
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes, one of those copies we could give to the defense judge if you'd like.
Do you need one? Okay. And my thought is that I just write down. Oh, no, we haven't. It's on the second page. Picture from Garden of the Gods that was admitted. So it is on there. So it's all good.
Our paralegal is more awesome than I thought.
Yep.
Won't say her name in case other jurisdictions or lists don't want to hire her.
I get it. So take that with you so I don't lose it. All right. The next question is, can we have both a preliminary and final report from Dr. Lewis? And I think what they're talking about is they want the reports from Dr. Lewis. My proposed response is expert reports are not introduced as exhibits in a trial. You have all the evidence you may properly consider to decide the issues in this case. Prosecution?
Yeah, I think that's the right answer. We certainly, those two things were not ever admitted, and I
Right.
think it would have been improper to try to admit them as well, so.
Right, and they never are. So that's why I put this, usually I only have the second sentence, but because they're asking for both reports, rather than highlighting or saying that this has something to do with Dr. Lewis specifically, which it does not. I mean, they're not going to get Dr. Torres and Dr. Grimmett's reports either. Mr. Tellini?
No, I agree.
Okay. Then I will sign this.
Your group approach has been somewhat of an issue that came up over.
Give me just a second. Okay.
I hate it when they mute when they do a sidebar.
Yeah. Unmute it over there. We want to hear. We want to know what you're talking about. Shoot. Jeez. Okay, let me turn this. All right. Rusty was saying something here. I stepped away to take care of my little angel. Since everybody's out the house. Okay. What did Rusty say? Okay. Rusty said guilty by reason of insanity. Okay, trips off to be a treated and studied. Oh, guilty and not insane. She gets a new permanent home in prison when the judge explains the jury's instructions. It was overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else said Donna? I might be wrong, but I thought YouTube is not allowed.
Right. So we've sent back, I gave you both, right? Okay. We're going to send back the,
This is us. That's earlier. Okay. I can pull something up. Donna, I might be wrong, but I thought that YouTube is not allowing any links to be posted in the comments live or not. It depends on the person who's hosting the channel. They have it set. I have it set that you can't drop links. But if I'm correct, I think moderators you can drop the links. Moderators. Yeah. I think you're able to drop the links, but I have it set no link dropping because just never know, somebody sending you the wrong kind of link and then you lose your whole channel, if you know what I'm talking about. What do you call it? Oh, what's the word for it? Whatever it is, but you have to be careful. But moderators, I believe you can. You could do that one. Or if you up here on the screen. All right. Oh, let me get back to it.
the exhibit list, and the answer to the question, that I've already, given you. That
Whoever's coming in, we just playing back what happened earlier this morning because it hasn't started. They're already on break. They're on break, but we're just recapping what happened earlier this morning. All right, resume.
that takes care of everything at this point in time. I'm still going to give a 30-minute warning with some grace for the people to get here. I know that it may take them somewhat longer. Can you give me some idea of generally where they might be coming from?
Well, I think we've got Landon and her family here. Al and his side of the family, I'm sure, are just waiting for us to give them a call. They live in town. So
Okay.
I think in all likelihood, we'll be fine with 30 minutes. I'm just saying if that becomes an issue,
No, if it does.
you never know.
Right.
And you've been very gracious with that the whole time, Judge. So
Just let me know and we'll deal with it. Otherwise, I'll let you know when I hear something.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Court will be in recess.
All right.
Good question, Rusty. I don't know that one. Anybody happen to know if it on the panel does the I have the strange feeling it isn't. I don't know. I have the strange feeling it isn't. I'm not too sure on that one. That's a good question. Okay, let me stop sharing that one because that was basically.
I know the answer. I know the answer.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they end up in
Yeah.
the court transcripts because everything that happens at sidebar is open to be an appeals, the subject of appeals. So everything that happens on sidebar is put into the record.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I guess it does make sense because you can't be hiding anything. That's kind of like being deceitful. Okay, I just didn't know that one. I thought maybe it was sidebar, but I guess they just don't want us to know at that time.
Right.
I think.
Depending
Whatever.
on
I don't know.
if he unseals like all of the transcripts and exhibits for this trial, then we can see like all exhibits and the videos and all of up close. Like we'll get a better view of it. But I'm wondering how much it costs. I heard the FOIA requests are expensive.
Not sure. Wait a minute.
What?
Am I gonna get an alert here? All right. I'm just saying, like, should I show a video or something? When I have this up, let me something we could just watch. Cause this look like it's gonna be a all day thing. I don't think we're gonna get any answers today. I really don't think so. Cause this jury has some questions, which well, it's good. They paying attention. They want to make sure they make the right decision.
Notice who they're asking questions about. Again,
Mm-hmm.
is Dr. Lewis.
Oh boy, yeah, that's their star witness that screwed up everything, but they need more clarity. They need more. All right, should I show that one? I really don't have much videos here.
I
Maybe I'll
sent you
show
an
it.
email.
Oh, okay. Let me check the email here. Let me check the email. I showed y'all that walkthrough yesterday. Oh, you sure did. Hold it. Okay, that's the verdict form that you sent me.
Yeah.
Nice handwriting. Oh, you will never understand mine. Okay.
Oh, well,
You understand mine? Not at all.
I've been channeling my inner Letecia, and all
What?
my authors are writing different. You should look at all my notes I've been taking for this 20 days of this trial.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna show this video here. We'll put on a faster speed. Wait a minute. So we get to see Gannon's mother. Um, yeah, give me a second here, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna watch.
Oh,
What happened?
I'm just going to mention it
Okay.
that there is a new GoFundMe for Landon that's been set up. I don't know the link,
Oh,
but just for anybody that had asked, go search it out for yourselves and make sure you have the right one. But there is a verified new um, GoFundMe to help Landon. She's having to fly back and forth. She's a single
you know
mom
what?
with 2 little girls. So,
I forgot about that. You know, when crimes happen in different states, the traveling people have to do, you're missing work, you have to stay at a hotel, blah, 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 you know, all this kind of stuff. Oh, I hope
see,
she's good.
I have
Mhm.
I have more empathy and compassion for Landon when it comes financially because, well, Al's a good earner. Al lives local. Al has plenty of money to get married again and have another child.
Yeah.
So I just I feel like Landon struggles financially and she lives in South Carolina. This has been a lot of flying back and forth, a lot of hotels. Her complete support structure is in South Carolina.
Oh my gosh. This poor woman. I just rewatched it and all three drank from the same
Huh?
nasty. No, she talking about because I remember someone was mentioning that that we if you talking about Deb that the cup that they have at the table they all sharing the same cup they all drinking from Letecia. Nasty. I'm telling you, that's it. Like I
God.
said before, I said if that was my man, I have a
What?
talk with him. But if that's my man, there's no talk. We're over. We over. Nasty. All right. Yeah, Deb was like, yes, okay, we got it right. What is wrong with these people?
I, 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 I might have vomited.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Now
Do
this
you guys want a little scoop on the lawyers?
you go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So the lawyer I like is
Hold
Mr.
a second.
Tolini.
Hold a second. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a picture. This is Landon, right? This is Gannon's mother.
Correct.
Just so you see on the screen. All right, go ahead.
Okay. The two lawyers, we have Mr. Tolini, and then the one that canoodles with Letecia is Will Cook. Tolini is the one the judge appointed from alternate defense counsel, and he's in private practice. He's in a firm called Barker and Tolini, and they founded in 1998, and they have a very good reputation. Will Cook is in his own little practice, just him. So I don't know how he got hired onto the case. There aren't any court records for it, but everything that gets filed is filed under Barker and Tolini's name. So they're not, Mr. Tolini cannot fire Will Cook. And I think Tolini's going to be happy when this is over. He doesn't have to look at Letecia ever again, and he doesn't have to look at Will Cook either.
Yeah, because when he's watching that on Sunday, you can really tell that it's frustrating to him, and he's annoyed and he's embarrassed. He's trying to do his job, keep it professional, and you got this one over here kiki howling with this criminal who she said she did it. She confessed that she did it.
So if she's found guilty, everybody that's found guilty has the right to an appeal. Appeals are for losers. End of discussion. So she'll have 20 to 30 days to file her notice of intent to appeal. Tolini will file that, and then he's done. He is not an appeals lawyer. Then she'll go back. She'll have like a year to file her appeal. So she'll have to get a new appeals attorney. And those are public defenders too. There's a separate branch of public defenders for appeals.
Oh, okay.
But Tolini will be done at this point. So he'll likely just file her intent to appeal and box everything up and wait for the name to be released to him, to who he sends his evidence to. Done.
I don't blame him. Just be done.
Oh,
All
he
right.
should get double points for this.
He should. He really should. I'm going to show this clip here. Now, this clip, we all just waiting, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's coming in, a little confused, like, what is she doing? What's happening? Well, we're just going to show this clip to kill some time. They still waiting for, this is the verdict watch. We're still waiting. Nothing hasn't came through yet. But this clip here is Gannon Stauch's stepmother charged with first-degree murder. So we're going to listen a little bit of the mother. What does she have to say? Just in case anybody didn't see who the mother is. All right, here she goes. And I'm going to put this speed on. Yeah, we do a little faster here. I'm not going to go too fast, but it's going to be 1.25 on this one. Let's get it. When you were saying the GoFundMe, I hope she makes a GoFundMe too. And I'll definitely put some money in the GoFundMe to get a lawyer to sue the heck out of Al. Yeah, I said it.
Oh, I know. She won't need money for that.
That's true, because I think plenty of lawyers will do that pro bono. They'll do it.
No. They do that under contingency.
Oh.
Now, they might want money because there's nothing to gain at the moment from Letecia, but that's generally a contingency.
Oh. You know what? My prayers go out to you that you do it. Because he felt that this woman, I'm going to say it again. He felt that this woman was a better mother than you. She could do a better job than you. And that proves he was completely wrong, huh? Sue him. Take him down. Oh, and this one too. Harley Hunt. We got questions. It just doesn't add up. Nope, it doesn't add up. It really doesn't. All right, let's watch the clip.
We worked diligently to piece together what led to Gannon's disappearance. Our speakers today will be Sheriff Bill Elder, Lieutenant Mitch Mahalko, FBI Denver Division Special Agent in Charge, Dean Phillips, District Attorney Dan May, and Senior Deputy District Attorney Michael Allen. We will not be taking any questions at the conclusion of the press conference. However, I will be reading a statement from Gannon's father, Al. Landon may not speak. Please respect the family's request for privacy as they begin to absorb and process the devastating news they have received today. Sheriff Elder?
Thanks, Jackie. Welcome, everybody. Today marks 5 weeks since the investigation into the disappearance of Gannon Stauch. We're holding the press conference to update you on some significant developments. While we've yet to locate Gannon, this morning, just after 8 o'clock a.m. East Coast time, Letecia Stauch was taken into custody in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina without incident by law enforcement officers from the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, the Denver and Columbia divisions of the FBI, the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina Police Department, the Horry County, South Carolina Police Department, and Sheriff's Office. Letecia will be held without bond in the J. Reuben Long Detention Center in Horry County, South Carolina, where she will remain until she's extradited back to Colorado Springs on the following charges. Charge 1, murder in the first degree of a child under 12 years of age by a person in a position of trust. Child abuse resulting in death. Tampering with a deceased human. And I stress enough what a difficult time this has been for Gannon's family. Like Jackie said, they've provided a written statement, but they will not, and they won't be providing any interviews at this time. And I ask that you protect their privacy. This has been a rapidly developing and highly complex investigation, and it underscores the importance of teamwork in the law enforcement agents in our community. While our hope is always that tragic cases like this never happen, it is precisely why the extremely close relationships we enjoy with our local, state, and national law enforcement partners becomes the most important. The list of people from around the country that have worked many, many long hours and invested themselves so deeply in is long and impressive. I offer my sincere thanks to each and every one of you for all that you've done in the investigative efforts so far. The safety of the citizens of this community is the top priority to all of us standing before you today. We'd like to thank the thousands of members of this community for your compassion, your kindness, and your thoughtfulness, your generosity, and your support while we've taken on the tireless search efforts over the past 5 weeks. On behalf of the Sheriff's Office, all of the investigators, the staff, the volunteers involved in this investigation from all over the United States, we'd like to express our deepest sympathies to Gannon's family and friends. There is no way to express the depth of our sympathy, and our hearts break for you. But I make this promise: this team will continue its work. These partners will remain steadfast and diligent until the conclusion and final prosecution of this case. We will not stop, and this investigation has only begun. Letecia's arrest photograph will be made available to the media as soon as we can following the press conference. Jackie will have the details. And now I will turn the microphone over to Lieutenant Mitch Mahalko.
Good afternoon. We will not be going into detail about the information in the investigation which ultimately resulted in the arrest of Letecia. But I can tell you that this has been a methodical and time-consuming multi-state operation with investigators working nearly around the clock to find Gannon. There have been thousands of hours of investigation and search efforts. This includes large-scale searches, in addition to small, specific searches with drones, horses, canines, and other resources. Information has been developed that is helping us narrow our search. As you can see from the arrest, sadly, we do not believe Gannon is alive. Our work is only just beginning, and you will continue to see many law enforcement officials in El Paso County over the coming weeks and possibly months as we continue our relentless pursuit of justice for Gannon and his family. On behalf of the investigators and staff involved in this investigation, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and the friends of Gannon. The death of a child is something no parent should ever have to endure. This case has not just been an investigation for us. This case has become very personal and will forever remain in our hearts. We will continue to work closely with the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office, the FBI, and other partners to the conclusion of this investigation. At this time, I'd like to turn this over to FBI Denver Division Special Agent in Charge, Dean Phillips.
Thank you for being here today. On behalf of the men and women of the FBI, all the special agents, investigative analysts, support staff, and our task force officers, we express our deepest condolences to the family, the friends, and the loved ones of Gannon Stauch. For the press, I also ask that you give the family space and time in order to process the information that they're dealing with now. To the community, thank you for your patience and understanding, for your assistance, and for the support you provided to the law enforcement community as we've worked through this investigation. The law enforcement community, I want to recognize in particular the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, Colorado Springs Police Department, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, our partners, our task force partners in Pueblo, the Pueblo PD, Pueblo County Sheriff's Office, and the Colorado State Patrol. All of these agencies have worked tirelessly and seamlessly together throughout this investigation. Although this is not the outcome for which we had hoped, we continue to work this aggressively, and we will continue to work it through to the end. As far as the FBI is concerned, we brought significant resources to bear to include agents, special agents, investigative analysts, technical support, evidence response teams, and behavioral analysis unit support. But we are not done. We will be here with our partners to the end. We will continue to help law enforcement and the prosecutors see this to the very end. And know this, when it comes to the loss of a child, the FBI will always bring all available and logical resources to bear to help our law enforcement partners when called. We will answer the call. To the community, I want to tell you that at this point, all the evidence points to Gannon's disappearance being the result of foul play, but we have no reason to believe that there is any information or intelligence indicating a threat to other children in the community. Thank you very much.
This is not the outcome that anybody here wanted. We wish today, as we were standing here, that we had little Gannon with us to be able to present to our community still alive and doing well. Unfortunately, that's not the situation. As you've heard, an arrest warrant was issued for first-degree murder of Gannon in this case. Unfortunately, we've had to get to know the family now as part of our prosecution family, and they'll be with us for the next many months going forward. It's an unfortunate thing that we are here today. I do want to thank all those who've been involved. The FBI has been amazing. John Cronin, who's the special agent in charge here in Colorado Springs, has spent literally his team 24/7 for weeks across the could not have done support. Bill Elder's team has been fabulous in terms of their work, working tirelessly again 24/7 for many weeks, hoping we would find Gannon. Unfortunately, we are not. Colorado Springs Police Department, Kevin Clark came over, and it's been amazing the work that he has done, which I understand he may even get a special recognition from the FBI in terms of what he's done on this case. My lead prosecutor on this case has been Michael Allen. He will continue to be the lead prosecutor throughout this case. And with that, I'd like to introduce him to fill you in on some of the things we expect going forward.
I want to let everybody know that the affidavit in this case supporting the arrest warrant remains sealed. We do understand why this case has drawn the attention it has from across our community and also across our country. But we want to do everything we can to make sure we achieve justice for Gannon. So we're not going to talk about the facts of the case going forward. We want to make sure that we protect these criminal proceedings. Anytime a child goes missing, it's natural for people to want to help out. And we encourage people, if you have credible tips, to still report those tips to the Sheriff's Department. We are going to continue this investigation. It's a two-pronged investigation process, I should say. Gannon home so that he can have a proper burial and his family can achieve the closure that they need. But we also want to hold the person that we are charging, Letecia Stauch, accountable for what she did in this case. She has been arrested on the following charges: murder in the first degree, child under 12 by a person in a position of trust. That is a class 1 felony and carries a potential penalty of life in prison without parole. The other charges are child abuse resulting in death, tampering with the deceased body, and tampering with physical evidence. The extradition process is where we are now. We will proceed until we get Letecia back here to face formal filing of charges, which will be sometime in the coming days. We do have a team of folks in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now, 2 prosecutors from our office, FBI agents, and members of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. They're collecting evidence even in South Carolina as we speak, and that will continue until they exhaust that effort. I do want to add, too, that all defendants, Letecia included, are innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That will be the case. It's our burden to prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. We are confident that we'll be able to do that. But because we have that burden and we want to protect these proceedings, we won't be commenting again on the facts of this case. Thank you very much.
Really, I'm not in the correct mindset to be even standing up here. But if I had to say one thing, that when he said Gannon is no longer with us, I'd have to say Gannon is with us. After the stories of people from all over the world, he's not only my hero now, he's the world's hero. So I think the community, the positive support from a state that I've never visited other than 2 or 3 times, I'm astounded by the amount of love that's not come from me. It's came from my boy. And never thought I'd be standing here. It's a nightmare. I've had to put trust in the people I don't know. Today, I got the worst news and the best news. Obviously, we know what the worst news is, but the best news is that justice will be served. And I'll make sure that justice is served because my boy did not deserve any of this that has happened to him. So I urge media one more time just to hold off on questions until we know that this person, the stepmom that I even trusted, that she will pay 100% for this heinous thing she done. And I know that that's going to will be done. So I ask you guys, I beg and plead of you, if you've known, if you see the story, all of you have seen this story, please hold that very close to you. Because I want to live this earth knowing that justice was served for my boy. And I know that you've seen pictures, you've seen stories, you've seen my little man. He is truly my hero. And I'm gladly giving that to you guys too, that he can be your hero. I've heard stories of people that have not prayed in years, that have finally fell on their knees to pray. And I know where my son's at, without a shadow of a doubt. So many families have been brought closer together because of this. I know my boy is special, and I've told my people in my family and friends that Gannon has a testimony, that Gannon has a story. He's special. And this is his story. So make that story magnificent, who my child is. And I'm putting my trust into you guys to do that. So thank you for allowing Gannon to be your hero and sharing him with us.
So now I'm going to read a statement from Al, Gannon's dad. In a moment on September 29, 2008, my heart stopped as my baby boy entered this world way too early, weighing only 1 pound, 6 ounces. His infectious smile and constant laughter made an impact on every single person he's ever met. Although I miss the years when he was learning to walk, learning to talk, and he had welcomed his little sissy home from the hospital, I've been looking forward to his teenage years and the fun we had ahead of us as he became a young man. In a moment, on March 2nd, 2020, my heart stopped again with what we have heard up to this point. My little boy is not coming home. We will never play Nintendo again. No more Taco Tuesdays. No more smooth-looking haircuts. No more Big Bubba for Mylena, and no more G-Man for the world. The person who committed this heinous, horrible crime is one that I gave more to anyone else on this planet, and that is a burden that I will carry with me for a very long time. But the God I believe in is the owner and decider of justice and vengeance. Only he can repay. Although I am selfish and want my baby boy here, now and forever, how can I question God for bringing Gannon home to him? Because Gannon believed in God, and I will never stop believing. Thank you to the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and the FBI for the thousands of hours it took to uncover the truth as we know it. And may they stay strong and focused as they move forward. The mugshot for Letecia will be available on our social media platforms as soon as she is formally booked into the Horry County Sheriff's Office detention facility. I do have press packets available for the media, which will be available at the conclusion of the press conference. As Senior District Attorney Michael Allen said, all investigation questions should be directed to the District Attorney's Office. All search effort information will continue to come from the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Right now, I'd like to take the time to thank the media for your constant coverage and not letting our work is not done. Let's continue to work together to find him.
Did y'all know something a little bit weird on this? Al, you're the man. Military, too. Why someone has to read for you?
Exactly. Exactly. I was just thinking that.
You thinking that, too. I was you, too. Did I see Black Lady Jane pop up in here? You go, Diva. There she go. There she go. You thinking, too, right? He's military. He's a man. And a pretty big guy, too. What's going on here, sir?
But you know what I thought of the other day? So you know how Letecia had made up that story that she was essayed and somebody had broke into the house when they were in Alaska?
When they first came to the house, like oh God, I get confused.
So this is when they left, what was it, Myrtle Beach?
You're a little
static. It's probably these AirPods. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Oh, that's okay.
Here's my other AirPod. These things are trash. They charge you all of these money.
Yeah, I always have fun with my AirPods.
Oh, is it better?
It's still static.
No.
Talk.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay. Anybody who's coming here, we're still.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
That's better.
All right, talk again.
Is it better?
Yes, much better now. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, I just had to take him out. Okay, so no, remember when he was stationed in Alaska and she didn't want to go because she said it was too cold for her. And so she had basically lied and said that one of his, I don't want to call it a coworker, but I don't know what branch he's in. But anyway, somebody that he works with had came into the house and essayed her and basically had broken the house and robbed them.
Wait a minute. You mentioned that yesterday. Didn't you mention that yesterday in the chat?
Yes. And
And
so
I got confused when she was talking about. I was like, is she saying, I totally had missed this. So she made up a lie from before in the past saying something. Oh, Lord.
right, because she didn't want to be, remember, Melody, because she didn't want to be in Alaska anymore. And so she knew that if she said that, then they would have to leave. And so the person he works with ended up getting in trouble. Then she said it was a lie, and that's how they ended up in Colorado. He got restationed. But my thing is, if Al knew like she did all of that and she lied, why would he stay with her?
Oh, so she made up this bullcrap story, you're saying. And then he comes to find out he realized that she did lie, but he was still with her?
Right. She admitted to him, I lied. None of that happened. She had even like ransacked the house, like she was throwing stuff all through the house and made it look like a crime scene. Because she didn't want to be in Alaska. So she said, what do they call so National Guard?
Yeah, I think
I
it's
can't
National
think
Guard.
of
I think.
what. Okay, so whoever it is, I can't think of what they call each other. They're not troops, that's Air Force, but whatever. We'll just say a coworker.
Okay.
She lied and said that one of his coworkers had robbed them and essayed her. And so it got back to command, and then they had what am I trying to say? Restationed him, I guess, to Colorado. That's how they ended up in Colorado.
Oh, wow. I don't know how I missed that one. Well, it's just so much. You try to catch this and catch that.
Right.
Oh,
So
wow.
my question is, why would you stay with her after that? Because he could have gotten in some serious trouble too.
See, there's so many questions about this dad. There's so many questions. Here's the dad if y'all want to know. This is Al. Make sure y'all vote. And basically, let me see if anybody voted so far. Let me see. All right, the question I asked is, only got 2 votes? Come on. Let's get some more. I got 3 now. All right, the question is asked, do you think Al should pay all expenses for Landon, travel, and stay for the trial? And the choices are, we got 3 votes. 33% says absolutely, Donna. 0% says, come on, Donna, no. And 67% says, some, Donna, not all.
I think he should at least pay for half.
Paying for something, because I know one thing. If I was his wife, it's just the way I'm built and my personality, I'd be like, look, we're going to have to help her out because she's going back and forth and she's by herself. She's already hurting.
Right. And
plus,
that's still the mother of your child.
Yep, the mother of your child. And plus, if correct this, she is grieving from losing a child.
Right.
So,
right. So all the burden should be on
right.
her.
And me personally, I'm not trying to be funny, but if we have a big enough place, she could have a spot over here and she could stay in the hotel if she felt comfortable.
I was thinking that too.
No, this ain't the time to be worried about this jealousy and blah, blah, blah. No. She can stay here if she feels comfortable. But if she doesn't feel comfortable staying here, I'm not forcing her. Al, find her a place. That's near the courthouse. And if you need to pick her up or I pick her up to bring her back and forth so she ain't wasting no money for no Uber, we there for you.
Right.
I want him to be the man, the honorable man he claims to be in front of that camera.
Exactly.
But when this all started, he did bring her right in to the home, and you saw them hug, and you saw they were working together and they were a team. But
Well, what happened? I don't understand. Why stop now?
They've been
hold
to
a second.
court. They've been to court.
Nell
She has
GG
taken
and
him through
Melly,
the
hold it
court
just a
system.
second. Nell GG Melly, hold a second. Deb says,
Okay.
I believe it was a higher ranking person she accused. Oh, she went evil.
It was his commanding officer.
There we go. See?
But it wasn't break into that house or that she was SA'd. It was sexual harassment. And she filed the paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
then
okay, go ahead.
and
Sorry.
then that got them out of Alaska and to Colorado.
But I was listening to the phone calls again, and I heard the prosecutor asked Al, did she claim that the house was robbed? Did he break into the yeah.
That was in the Colorado house.
Oh, so she did it twice?
Yeah. To get him to come
Oh my
home.
gosh.
Now
Why did he stay with her?
I don't know, but we always kind of
And do
jump.
you know if he's accused of something like that, would stay with a woman as serious of an accusation as that is?
You remember I kept saying through this thing. Now I'm hearing more. It's confirming. I don't like Al.
That doesn't make any sense. And why would you continue to have somebody that can come up with that type of a lie around your children? S.A.?
Exactly.
Now GP went in. Exactly.
But
and you fighting this woman, you fighting this other woman to take her kid away to stay here because she's a better fit mother?
Exactly.
No, Al, you have to pay. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Al, you need to pay some sort of way.
Yeah. So, but when we jump on Al, let's all remember when Letecia married him, he had that job. It's the only job he's ever had. So she knew what she was signing up for.
She did. But see, you know what? I don't think it was the job that she had an issue with. I think that once he got full custody of the kids and he had to start doing his military obligations, that's what pissed her off. It wasn't the job. It was the fact that he could go out and in her mind, remember how she thinks. She always thinks he's cheating on her. She's very jealous. So in her mind, she probably was like, okay, well, he can go to another state and be who he wants to be. And I have to stay here with these kids that aren't even mine. So she didn't care nothing about the job. It was the fact that she was a glorified babysitter for him.
She's worried. She's jealous because that's how she took him away from Landon. Yep. She was having an affair with him while he was married to Landon.
Yep.
So, I mean,
because I'm more than positive she never would have thought, and I'm not on her side. I'm just saying she more than likely didn't think that it would end up the way that it did. With her having to be there full time with 3 children and he's away.
So they both report, both Letecia and Al, there's testimony or evidence, Google searches, both of them were on their way out the door. It just hadn't been decided an exact date and an exact plan. So they were that marriage was over. Over.
They both need serious counseling. Well, I'll more so, I think. Because what is it about him to where he feels like he has to have somebody?
Right? Or her. They're both the same. In all those Google searches, she's looking for a new man, and she hasn't gotten rid of the one she's got.
Exactly. Something's wrong with
the paint dry.
Right.
You notice that,
you.
You see that, right? It's like he has to have somebody and he marries them quick. He gets out of one relationship and then jumps into another one.
Right.
And it's not even like a little dating. Some people just want to date. But he's getting into committed. All right, I broke up with Jane in June. I got to get committed by July. What the heck?
Right.
Break. Maybe do a little dating or do nothing.
Right. You didn't even give yourself enough time to grieve properly. My goodness.
And Mia Walker up in the house, and she said yes to what? And welcome. And this no verdict. We just all here just waiting. But so she lied like that, and he still. I never caught that. Oh my gosh! I'm glad you have brought that up, Nell Gigi, because I meant to ask, like, what is Nell Gigi talking about? Are you talking
And
about when
I didn't know he did it twice, Melody. I mean, she did that twice. I thought it was just the one time in Alaska.
No.
That's crazy.
So all Alaska was, and she wasn't living there. She was on a visit.
Mm-hmm.
She got upset, left a dinner, and then concocted a story about us harassment.
Right.
No attack.
Okay.
And it's against his commanding officer. And she
Mm-hmm.
files the report on the base. That got
Mm-hmm.
him booted out of Alaska.
Right.
And they went to Colorado. In Colorado, and he was deployed. Mind you, he's not deployed like regular military. He's just in another state for a week or two.
Right.
Then she said somebody broke into the house.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally took spent casings out of a ammo can and dropped them into the window wells at the basement windows. And then said, "Oh, we had a squatter in the
Right. That's
attic
right.
of the garage. He came running home. She got her way."
And that's what it was this time. She wanted her way again. Gannon's missing. Hurry up and get home. Hurry up and get home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this puts a whole new light to a lot of things. Well, for me, it is because I'm just learning this, but it really confirms. I said it's something about this Al. I have a problem with cheating men, cheating wives, cheating on their spouses. I have a problem with that. I really do. And I was like, something about him, it just doesn't seem right. And you telling me this woman sat here and lied and confessed, and and you still kept her around, and you kept this type person. Yeah, and you kept around your child. And you're supposed to protect. So you saying the biological mother wasn't fit, but this chick was?
Right.
Right.
And if somebody gonna come at me in the comment section one time, like, why are you picking at Al? Are you kidding me?
Well, he's part to blame too because he didn't properly vet her. 5 months is not enough time for anything. So no.
Anybody that doesn't like what is said about Al here needs to put their tootsies into Landon's shoes and wonder how she feels at the moment. Because,
well said.
I mean, oh my word.
She trusted you to take care of her children. She needed help. She trusted you.
And she did the right thing.
Yes.
You know, she
I
trusted
can't
her
imagine
mother.
how hard that was for her to give up her babies.
Right.
Let me read this comment real quick. Emmanuel said here, I guess we're talking about, abandonment. It says, had a friend like that. He had an abandonment issues because of his mother just couldn't stand to be alone. And there is a lot of people like that, Emmanuel, in relationship. They can't be by themselves. And they'll take anybody. Just they have to have somebody. Have to have a husband, have to have a wife, have to have a boyfriend, have to have a girlfriend. I mean, and that person has to go with them everywhere. You ever had that one friend you want to go out and have girls' night and she got to bring her man? It's like, really? And it's not because he's controlling and jealous, not that type. It's because she got to have him. Even he feel uncomfortable, like, damn, I really got to go? It never fails. All right, Black Lady Jane says to me, my former husband is a former Marine, and Al is incredibly PW. I don't know what that is. What does that mean? I'm lost. To allow her to jeopardize his career. Well said.
Donna, female part and whipped.
Yeah, the cookie.
That's what PW is.
Oh.
We can't say it out loud. Female part and whipped.
Oh, I usually say the cookies. I say cookies and wood stick around here. Okay.
Oh, so there you go.
He had a cookie addiction. I can't. Black Lady J said Marines can't even bounce a check without troubles. Ooh.
That's true. My husband's in the military. He's in the Air Force.
Oh, okay.
And let me see. We moved to another city, and in the last 3 years, 5 years, he's been deployed 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Please. And it's hard. We have 3 children. 2 of them are 14 months apart, and they were toddlers when he left. I think 2 and 3. So, I mean, it's very hard, but like Melody said, I know what I signed up for. I can't get mad at him because he has a job to do. That's how we eat.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
And Gigi, it might be different for you too. I mean, I have a nephew in the Navy,
Mhm.
and I know when he's deployed, his wife there's all kinds of groups on base to
Yes.
help the spouse at home with kids.
So the first deployment, they have something called Yellow Ribbon, and it's open to all of the branches. And they pay for you and your family to go to whatever state that they're hosting it in. And they have all types of workshops that you can sign up for. And one of them is for a military spouse. And you hook up with, either you can do it virtually or in person, and they'll send you like the links that you can use if you want to do it virtually. If you want to do it in person, you can go to the base and they pay for everything for you. And you can, again, you can sit with other families that have gone through deployments, before, to get advice. They'll send you links for child care, food if you need it, if you need any type of repairs for
Right.
like a car or appliances. They have all kinds of things available to assist you. So I
Right.
don't know what she's tripping on.
Well, he's National Guard.
But he was active National Guard, so he gets the same privileges that an active duty military personnel would get.
No, he's full-time National Guard instead of a weekend warrior. He's a full-time
Right.
National Guard, but he doesn't leave the country. He deploys to Oklahoma for 2 weeks of training.
Right. So like with reservists, you have to do, I don't know if it's different, like the times of the year that you go, but anybody that's reserved, you do your 2 weeks out of the year, and then every month for a weekend, you go to the base. So that's what he was doing, some type of training. My husband has to do the same training. So like in July, he'll be gone for 2 weeks to do his annual training. But since he's full time, they call it active reserve. So he still only has to do the 2 weeks out of the year
Right.
away,
Right.
but he gets the full time benefits, if that
Right.
makes sense. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
So
plain and simple, she does not go through the periods of a loan that you go through.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly. So
that's
he's
what I'm trying
still,
to say.
it's okay. So he's still, yes, he's still home as a civilian. He just has his monthly obligation and then his yearly obligation. But outside of that, he's a civilian at home. He just has a military job, if that makes sense. So basically, he can come home every day. He doesn't have to stay stationed away from his family. So that's what I don't understand, what she's having a hard time with. 2 weeks is nothing.
That's nothing. Nothing.
It
2
doesn't
weeks.
make any, huh?
2 weeks is an eternity when you're a Kardashian girl.
Well, you know it, you're right.
Oh.
You know, when everything is about you.
Forgot about that. Oh my
He
God.
was training to be an officer. So see, yeah, my husband's gone now. He comes back at the end of the month. He's training for master sergeant. So he was away for a month. They have to do a training and you have to give like speeches and things like that. And then he has his obligation in July for 2 weeks. And that's usually like weapons training and things like that. So again, you're not gone for terrible, like long periods of time. I don't know what her deal is. And again, it's not like he's away on vacation. He's away so that you can have somewhere to live and eat every day.
Right? Exactly.
The only thing that I can side with her with a little bit was if her education was real. Let's say she really did have the doctorate degree and all of that. She really did want to work. Part of me kind of sides with that a little bit because I wouldn't want to have to go to school and spend all of that money and I can't use it. That's the only thing. The only thing. But again, that's something that you should have talked with your spouse about.
So she someplace in testimony was that she
Hold
quit
on a
8
second.
jobs.
Melanie, hold on. Let me greet him at the real Chim. I hope I'm saying it right. Hello, everyone. I'm new here, but I love hearing everyone's opinion. Oh, this is so good. See, people listening, love it, love it, love it. So love hearing opinion. Yeah, everybody when it comes up, I'm gonna put the link in. Everybody else want to jump up because we're still waiting for the verdict, and if they want to share their thoughts, this is great to hear everybody's thoughts and be respectful to everybody's thoughts. This is how it goes. How it goes here. And then Deb also said something. What did she said? Al was training to be an officer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right, go on. I'm sorry, Melanie. Go on.
Oh, no, that's fine. So in testimony someplace is the fact that she quit 8 jobs in
Oh,
3 years.
okay.
And when the doctor wrote the note for her to get out of her contract at the last
That's
job,
right. That's right.
she asked for it.
That's right. So she just got issues either way. There's
Yeah,
nothing that's going to satisfy her.
she's just a goddess of issues.
Yeah. Well, oh well.
What did you just say? She's the goddess of issues.
Nothing is going to satisfy her. Like
Yeah,
you got a
nothing.
man that's working,
Hmm.
you know, an honest job, an honest living.
Yeah, honestly, that he's not no criminal. You
No
know.
criminal, you know, I don't know what else you want. You live in a beautiful neighborhood. That house looked really nice. Nice neighborhood it
Yeah,
seemed.
it did look really nice, didn't it? Yeah.
You guys
Driving
were able
nice
to take
cars.
vacations, right? A two-car garage, two-car house. Your daughter had a car,
Oh,
Yes.
a
She
brand new
sure
car.
did.
A
brand
Oh
new
yeah.
16-year-old
car.
with a brand new car.
Yes, she was working. You guys were able to take vacations as a family and as a couple. What more do you want?
Selfish.
I don't want nobody up under me all the time, married or not. I just don't. Like, I want you to be able to go out and do what you want to do too, because I want to do what I want to do. Like, I want to have a career and go to work and have a little space. I don't want nobody just laid up under me all day, every day. What is that?
Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you mean. And I think that's healthy in relationships to have that little bit of space, to miss each other and stuff. You
Yeah.
don't have to
I
be
want to
around
miss
all the time.
you.
Yeah. And then that little, when you miss each other, y'all have that, little fun. You know what I'm
Hmm.
talking about. And it's
Yep.
beautiful. But this
Yep.
chick here, it's like you got to be up under her 24/7. And if you just go a step to the corner store to get some milk, or who did you see? I know you was looking at the cashier because last time at the store, you probably got her number. You going to see her this weekend? Oh my God. Are you serious?
Because
Oh.
even when like Landon came in town, and I honestly, I don't feel like it was wrong that she was at the house. I just don't. But she was so jealous she wouldn't even come out of the room to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Lakeisha,
Oh, that was something else.
isn't that crazy? Like, how immature are you?
Mm,
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't see anything wrong. Again, that's still the mother of his children. And
exactly.
honestly, she should have found it attractive that he respects her as much as he does. To not put any type of unnecessary stress on her. Like, hey, we're looking for Gannon. You can stay here. Don't worry about paying for a hotel. Just stay here and we'll look out for each other. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, this is not time to be. I wouldn't have had no problem. She could stay here. What do you mean she stay at a hotel? Did you ask
Right.
her first that she wanted to stay here? I mean, if that's what she want, but I don't want her to go there because she feels she's not welcomed here.
Right.
She's welcome here.
Exactly.
What do you want to eat? What are you comfortable with? Matter of fact, if push come to shove, I'll probably step away so y'all can talk and get this to go because this is your child. You be trying to find Gannon.
Right.
Right.
See, this is the point I be making. You have to date longer. Get
Hmm.
to know the person because eventually their mask is going to fall. And don't get me wrong, you got a lot of these narcissists and sociopaths. They are so good at the bull crap that they do. They can hold on to that mask for a long time, even 10 months,
Okay.
almost a year. Yes, they can, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Hmm.
They can hold on to that mask, but it's not too long. There's cracks are going to be there.
Hmm.
But a couple of months, 4 or 5 months of dating? Oh, really? 3 months you date somebody, it's fun and dandy. Oh, it's just fun. You're talking about the person all the time, walking to work, and you be smiling. They be like, hey, you must be dating somebody. Yeah. They can tell you're smiling, right? 6 months you get to know a person. A year you find out what you can't stand. All right. So these 4 months, I don't understand. When people talk about, I know a couple that had got married, right? And I was like, I said, well, how long did y'all know? Oh yeah, we known each other a couple weeks, but we just knew it was it. And we know each other a couple of weeks and proposed to me. And I'm like, a couple of weeks? And this
Right.
person got kids. And I'm like, you know this person a couple. I didn't say it like that, but I'm thinking in my mind. You know them a couple of weeks. You married the person, they come to stay with you. Why they so eager to get married? Do they got a home? Are they looking for you for shelter? Are they looking for you to get around your kids? There's something odd about that. But good luck. I don't want, hopefully, marriage is a work or whatever, but sometimes people be married for up to years and it's a horror in the house behind closed doors. But I'm just saying, a couple of weeks,
How
proposal.
long was he married to Landon? Excuse me.
That's a good question. Now, I never found that out. Would you happen to know, Melanie? Because I would like to know more about what their relationship. I don't know.
I have no idea.
That's a good
Because I'm
question.
wondering what was so bad about her that you had to run from her to run to Letecia. What was going on?
I have no idea.
Or is
And
it just a
I can't
honeymoon
even
phase for you?
Thank you, Black Lady Jane.
find divorce stuff. I can't find anything in South Carolina for their divorce. I found the custody stuff, but it just says the name of what they filed. It doesn't say what's in it. And there's no judge's orders. So, but I mean, it's just, I don't know that he was running from Landon. The story is they were all playing softball on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
And Al started an affair with Devil Woman.
Thank you, Real. Thank you.
See?
So, and then he leaves her and he marries Letecia like 4 months in, 4 or 5 months in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this is the other thing is that they didn't live together full time until Colorado.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we just found that out too. Mm-hmm.
And that was because of his military obligations, right?
Right. So that backs up what you were saying. I forgot about that. That backs up what you were saying. So yeah, so they didn't live together full time, day in, day out until they moved to Colorado.
And she didn't like that either. But again, like you said, Melody, you knew that in the beginning.
You knew that when you married him, chick.
And if you didn't understand, then ask questions until you understand. What does this mean? You're not going to be here? Okay, how long? What does that mean?
She grew up in a military family. Doesn't she understand what that means?
When I heard that too, that was another thing I could understand. I was like, wait a minute, did she say she's from military, so she should know how does it go?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, even if he is gone for months at a time, at the end of it, you still get what you need. You know what I mean? Like he's providing for you and the family. So you just got to deal with it, or you shouldn't have got married.
Oh, Lord. My husband was a PhD nuclear physicist. And I'm going to tell you, he was gone a lot. They had him traveling 2 weeks out of every month. I had no problem with that. Granted, we might have had other issues. I might have told his boss, just keep him on the road. Happy wife, his husband traveling. But he was gone a lot. But I knew what I was signing up for. Right? I mean, that was evident when we dated. He was traveling when we dated. And that wasn't going to stop when we got married.
Right.
And it didn't. So I don't know what her big old problem is, but other than...
I think she's just selfish. It's just all about her. Me, me, me. That's it.
Me. Yep. That's it. That's it.
And what pissed her off the most was the fact that this last time she wasn't able to manipulate his mind enough to believe that she didn't have anything to do with it.
Right. Right.
That's crazy to me. There's no way somebody's going to accuse me of no SA and I'm staying. I got to go.
Exactly. Doesn't make sense. Really doesn't.
Because that lets me know right there how you feel about me. That you will go that length to lie, that type of a lie, just to get me to move to another state or potentially lose my career.
Well, they say with this, I'm gonna pull up this borderline while y'all talk. Just give me just that one step away. I want to get me some water. Y'all two can keep chatting, and then I'm gonna also pull up some stuff, read about with borderline personality disorder. and show this clip while we're waiting. Oh my God, so much. Yeah, so much. All right, y'all just finish talking. Then I'll show you the clip, and I'll get into borderline later. I'll be
Perfect.
right back. Thank you. Right back.
And Neil, what about all of her faked pregnancies?
That too. Remember when she went to interview at the not interview. Which one was it? Was it when the FBI arrested her? She said that she was 8 weeks pregnant, and that's
With
why she
twins.
couldn't take her lorazepam.
With twins.
Mm.
And she sent an ultrasound, but it was, from the same place,
Oh
fakeultrasound.com.
my goodness. She was so desperate to keep him. I just don't understand how she thought he was going to stay after this.
I
Did
think
she
she just
think that
wanted the
Gannon was?
paycheck.
Did she think that he was just going to float away and never be found, and then she could just say, "Well, I don't know what happened," and they just live happily ever after?
Yeah. She's not that bright.
Oh my! So wait a minute. Did they say during closing that when she tossed him over the bridge, there wasn't any water?
Yes.
Oh, so he was just laying over there.
Up on the rocks, and that she wouldn't have seen that because it was dark.
It was dark.
It was dark.
Oh
So in
my
order they would have had to have had a big storm for the water level to rise up enough to,
Mm.
and then that waterway goes to the Gulf of Mexico. And so it was after she
That's
tossed him
why she
over the
kept
bridge
saying
that she started.
Mexico.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
you're good. It was after she tossed him over the bridge that she started saying, he's alive. He's in Mexico. He's in Mexico.
And
Yeah,
she already knew that Quincy Brown was in Mexico because she looked up the mugshot. So she was
yeah.
going to try to play it like they found his body in Mexico and it was because of Quincy Brown.
Yeah.
This woman.
I told Rusty, I'm always innocent until proven guilty. I always defend defense counsel because
Hmm.
it's not, in my mind, it's not like they're really representing an evil person. They're
Right.
representing our Constitution.
Hmm.
I'm not
Hmm.
I'm not for the death penalty. It doesn't work for me.
Right.
However, this trial, this defendant, this is different.
Hmm.
I'm still pretty good with Mr. Tellini, but that Will Cook, he needs some disciplinary action.
Which one is okay? So Will Cook is the one that was, I guess, flirting with her, if you want to call it that.
Yes, the
Okay.
guy that always comes in late,
Yeah. And he's always packing up before, he gets dismissed. He's a
backpack
piece of
guy.
work. So what did you think about the closing arguments for prosecution? I like the rebuttal more than I did the actual closing argument.
I think they were fantastic. I think
I don't huh?
I think both,
You do?
but when they came back with their rebuttal, they knew exactly what they had to hit,
Yeah,
and they did it.
they did. Man.
And I'll be honest, I also think the defense did a reasonable close given what they had to work with. I think
Yeah.
he made some points.
Yeah.
He made some points. Not enough to make me think differently, but I think he did a good job. And thank God it was Tolini and not Will Cook.
Yeah. See, okay, so I watched this other channel and she had someone that claimed to be a classmate of Leticia's when they were in high school. And she was saying that Leticia um, showed signs of bipolar disorder like in the 11th grade, and she would pick on people a lot. And that some girl wanted to fight her, and instead of fighting a girl one on one, she got her jumped. Um, and that she met Chance in the 11th grade. What
I
else?
saw
Did you see that?
I saw some of it, but nowhere in there could I get a second party verification that she
Yeah.
was who she was. So I,
Yeah, I didn't
I
run with it
kind
either.
of
Like I listened to as much. It was very long-winded. I just clicked off because I couldn't take it after a while. But I don't know. Isn't that kind of odd that somebody just pops up like, "Oh, I went to school with her. Let me tell you what I know." I don't
happens all
know.
the time.
Yeah,
but I don't, until somebody, until there, can you show me your yearbook and show me your picture in the yearbook?
Right.
I can't, I need it verified that she is who she is.
I don't know. It seemed to be like she just wanted to have something to say. You know what I mean? Like she didn't really add any value to anything.
The parts of it that I did catch were
Mhm.
kind of validating Leticia's insanity.
Yeah.
Oh, she validated the abuse.
Mhm.
But again, I needed more. I don't know. I think once we get a verdict, I think there's going to be lots of people talking.
Oh yeah.
But none of the family can talk right now. They have to keep their mouth shut. Landon has to keep her mouth shut.
Yeah.
So
See, I just want to know more of the backstory. Like what happened with Al and Landon, and then, I don't know. Maybe it's too personal, but I just want to know like what made him feel like he had to have an affair, if he even has a reason. Excuse me. All of it is just a mess. It's just heartbreaking and it's a mess.
well, you know what? When you marry people as quickly as Al does,
Mm-hmm.
he might have married Landon, not realizing they weren't going to be a good match.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
she may have had some issues too that she was dealing with, and he didn't know
absolutely.
about it. And then.
Absolutely.
Mm, mm, mm. It was something else I was going to ask you about. Gosh, I got to remember. I wonder if she had any jail phone calls. See, it's a lot of other true crime channels that I watch, and they buy like all of FOIA. I think that's how you say it. You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see if I hope he unseals everything so we can see it. The
Yeah. I
judge.
hear there's some good jailhouse phone calls, but they haven't been released.
Yeah. He can't release him until after, but I hope he does though.
Yeah. Everything's under seal. I mean, there's so much of this is under seal,
Yeah.
kind of like with Koberger.
Mm.
Everything is under seal. So
See, I
I
wanted to
can't.
hear the jail phone calls from Daryl Brooks, but we can't because his mom was giving him legal advice and she had somebody on the calls too. I heard her boyfriend or somebody that was giving him legal advice, and so that's why we can't hear them.
That's what Murdaugh started
I
doing
can't stand that sewer rat mama and grandma. Oh my gosh, I can't stand them. The enablers.
I want to hear the calls so bad. So is it because of his appeal or just we won't ever get to hear them?
Anytime somebody's giving legal advice, there's attorney-client privilege.
Oh gosh, I want to hear them so bad.
So
I want to hear them.
if the person is an attorney or a paralegal, so that's what happened with Murdaugh. We had all those jailhouse calls, and
Yeah.
then Murdaugh started diverting his calls. He would three-way into his lawyer,
Mm.
and then those calls couldn't be released. They were still recorded, but they can't be released. Attorney-client privilege.
That makes me so angry. And I heard like every day she would tell him, when you go to court tomorrow, do this, do that, say this, delay this. Because didn't she win a trial or whatever she had going on against somebody and she represented herself and she won?
Oh, I don't know.
Gosh, what did they say that something happened with, I don't know if it was workers' comp or something. And that's what she gave him the idea. She lies and says that she didn't, but she gave him the idea to represent himself, but just play crazy and just
I don't like
delay.
her much.
I don't either. I don't either.
So his appeals are dead in the water. I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
right to appeal. Notice of intent to appeal has been filed.
Mhm.
Now he has a court-appointed appeal attorney,
Mhm.
which just so happens to be the attorney he fired from
Mm.
defending him.
Now you
Oh, I
want me
can't.
back.
Okay, everybody, y'all see Surat? And there go his mama with the Kool-Aid hairstyle. Where did she get that from? Why she thinks she's cute in that? Because she thinks she's cute.
She sure
And there
does.
go grandma up there. All of
Lord.
them. Bunch of enablers.
Mm-hmm.
Enabling this man. Tell me, oh, he has bipolar. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people out here walking around with bipolar. He's
Mm-hmm.
not out here trying to kill people and running over. Didn't they show a picture of this sewer rat driving with his head out the window smiling when he was running over the people? Had a little smirk on his face?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me?
And do you guys know that the grandma isn't even related to
Yep.
them?
That's not even his
Oh,
grandmother.
yeah, because people were telling me in the comments, I was getting confused. They say it's not related, then it is related. Which one is it?
His
No.
grandmother is deceased, right?
Yes.
So why would you even want to attach yourself to something like you crazy?
I think they all went to the same church. You
Because
know,
I have a picture of Surat as a baby with his little Mickey Mouse ears and shit
right.
on her.
Yeah. I think she just kind of not took them in, but just at church, I think that they just got close to her and that's that.
Hmm.
But I'm hoping that the other two trials that he has are televised. The one with Erica and then what is the other one? Is that the one with his nephew?
Yeah, the nephew. Oh, I can't pronounce his name. Oh gosh, with the nephew. I got a picture of him too, but I'll have to pull it
Begins
up.
with the
Yeah.
A, I think.
Yeah, something with an A. And the nephew is his twin sister. Surat has a twin sister that died.
Right.
And that's your nephew. And you would think, as being the uncle and your sister is dead, you would step up to the plate, take care of him like it was your own son, because obviously he was living with his grandma. That must have meant that something with the father. I don't know the situation, but he wasn't living there. He was living with his grandma. So you, as the uncle, you should have stepped up. But no. Instead, you want to take a gun and shoot at your own nephew because of a damn cell phone? Excuse my language.
But you know what? He was on meth too at that time. Not excusing his behavior, but he was on meth. And I read that he had attacked his mom or whatever and pushed her up against the wall and held her there. And she had to beg for him to snap out of it. And then
Oh, I believe it.
yeah. And so then she called the police. And then when they found him, he was sitting on the couch with a bag of meth.
Fed some BS. Oh, what Real says, I kind of feel bad for grandma though. I just think that she was fed some BS. Possibility. What else? Real says here. Maybe she was just blind to truth. It's still a tragedy all around. What else it said? Oh yes, the one that he shot at, yeah, the nephew. All right, and what does Black Lady Jane says? The post Poser grandmother just seen an opportunity. Her church. Yeah, she was talking about her church, girl, right? She talking about church. Well, how
The
about all
only
right?
thing I can say about the grandmother, she did acknowledge that what Darrell, whatever his name is, did was wrong. I'll give her that.
Yeah, she did
But
do
it's
that.
still no excuse.
As for me, don't get me wrong. My children, I'm there for them. But something like this, I don't support it. I'm not that type of enabler. I'm not an enabler at all. I just can't seem to do that. Just like when I did the purple face killer, that little boy. Now, you come
Oh,
home,
yeah.
yeah, with blood. And ladies and gentlemen who's watching this, I'm not done with the pimple face killer because we got into this one. Because I want to show some interrogations of those of the kid. Wait a minute, we talking about pimple face. Let me just show y'all a picture so you know who I'm talking about. Do I have the picture? Oh shoot, I don't. Well, whatever. This is his parents right there. I have to pull it out. That's Aiden Fucci's mama and daddy. Okay? And there go mama. She sat there and washed the blood off of his pants. Now, I'm not doing that for my sons. I might be like, oh honey, what happened? Okay, just sit down for a second. Let me go get you some tea while I'm calling 911. Get him the hell out of here.
Get out of here.
You
Yes.
are on. I'm not covering up for no crime like that. See, these parents, this is insane. But she supposed to be going to court too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
have to follow. It's just so much to catch up. I'm trying to catch up, but I have to
It
follow
is.
her because she's gonna go to court. That's gonna go to trial. I want to watch that because she need to do some time.
I want to watch
Right?
that one as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
if it goes public, girl, I will definitely be following that one.
I've been trying to keep up with the West case, but it's
Oh,
hard because um that one is not televised at all. In fact, you can't even like broadcast the audio or anything from the trial.
okay. There's this lady's channel. You know what? Let me put the link in the chat. I'm glad you brought that up because it bothers me that I'm not. All right. You know what?
Is it Mystery Maven? You talking about her?
Yeah, she's good too. But she's good. But there's
Okay.
this other lady. I think she lived in the area and she
Oh,
was
okay.
first doing commentary when it was first missing. And I
Mm.
watched her. She got day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Because like you said, it's online. You can't rewind it. You can't record it. You can't do nothing. So I'm not able to catch it. So I watch Mystery Maven. I watch this lady and find out. But a lot of other people's not really covered. But I think it's because it's difficult to kind of cover.
Yeah, because they said you can't like rewind it or play it back.
Yeah, and
So
the only way I would be able to do it, I have to go back. I got to pause, rewind, and I
right.
can't do that to catch the notes. And I might do the notes. I won't be able to explain it to y'all. That would make sense. You'd be like, "What the hell are you saying, Don? You all over the place." Yeah, I know. I am all over the place. All right, let me see. Anybody knows about the West Boys, Orrin and Orson West? Because I did do commentary on a few times, but I haven't not been following the trial. But I have to find. Oh,
Excuse me.
Oh my gosh, ladies, you seen the Aiden's victims impacts heartbreak. Oh, that was so sad.
It was.
Oh, like I was saying, I know I'm jumping all over the place. I'm going to finish the pimple face killer. I call him the pimple face killer over here because I want y'all to hear the interrogations of his best friend and pimple face killer's girlfriend. And let me tell you something. When you listen to this, it's just crazy. These young kids, we talking middle school. You hear me now, Gigi? We ain't talking high school. They having sex. They doing drugs. They got sleepovers at their house with the opposite sex. I heard somewhere along the lines, orgies. Why are these middle school kids doing that? Y'all parents didn't know that y'all kids are running around like this. She's sneaking out. The beautiful girl who died,
Right.
she's sneaking out at night, and I don't think that was her first time, if you know what I'm saying.
No, it ain't.
No, it's not. And then I heard on the interrogation, listen to me, listen now. Her interrogation, she told his best friend, the best friend was talking about, his story, he's talking about the interrogation. He said, oh yeah, oh God, what said that she was like, oh yeah, I Aiden is cool because I heard he got a big wood pit. Why is middle school kids talking like this? Help me to understand.
Oh.
Let me tell you something. It's probably is good that it didn't go to trial because if it would have went in a way, I don't know. And what I'm learning, I kind of wish it would have went to trial. Then again, not. But in a way, maybe if we go to trial, could teach these parents. You let your kids run amok. Y'all wasn't watch. This is middle school. Teacher. I'm not talking about high school. I know when they get to high school, it's a little hard. It's a bit challenging with your kids because they start making friends and blah, blah, blah. They want their independence. Middle school, we don't have that. There's a curfew. You do not have boys sleeping over.
No.
If I allow you to have a boy over, it's going to be in the
living
room, wide open. But I'll be coming through. Y'all want something to drink? Y'all want some chips or something? I'm coming through. There's no privacy. Why is she sneaking out the window? But then her sister saw her sneaking out the window, didn't say anything. Because probably why. Now, these are all my thoughts and opinions, everybody. So whoever's watching replay, don't start gunning for me, start coming for me. Now, her sister saw her sneak out the window, didn't say anything, right? So I guess they woke up in the morning, happy Mother's Day. Well, where's she at? Oh, where's Tristan? Well, she didn't come. What do you mean she didn't sneak out? What do you mean you sneak out? You didn't do nothing?
Right.
Now, the daughter, Tristan, probably did that because she probably learned from her siblings, if you know what I'm saying.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Now, it's just that whole thing was just a mess. And it would all came out in court because these kids was running amok. At this age, middle school, they was downstairs sleepovers. And that girl that was Aiden's girlfriend, she's young. She don't realize, but she was a victim of domestic violence because he was threatening her.
Sure was.
She was a victim, and I pray to God that her parents is giving her some therapy and taking this serious. No, that whole thing was it was more than I thought. I didn't know it was like that. She ran out there because she wanted some wood stick. When Aiden said that she grabbed his, I think he's telling the truth. But see, that's not what he was there for. He was
No.
there cha cha cha, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
That was his goal. But when she jumped out that window, Nail Gigi, she went out there to get some wood.
I believe it.
Middle school. Middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Middle
See,
school.
when I was in middle school, I couldn't even talk, no talking on the phone to boys. And we had landlines. So my grandma would pick that phone up to listen to who I was talking to and what y'all talking about. Okay. First of all, we didn't have no iPhone and all of that and social media. You had a landline. And yes, she would pick that phone up and she would listen. And I bet not be talking about anything inappropriate because she would embarrass me on that phone.
Oh yeah, we jumped
Okay.
in. Jackie, hugs and kisses to you, beautiful. Yeah, we switch it over different things, just having talk over here. But we jumped in, talk a little bit about the pimple face, the killer. And hold a second. Melanie says something. What are you saying, Melanie? 5 hours, 35 minutes on deliberation clock. Oh, okay. All right, go on. I'm sorry. Finish what you're saying now.
It's okay. And then wasn't no sleepovers. I don't think I was allowed to go to a sleepover ever. Let alone to a boy's house. And I couldn't have male company until I was 16. And like you said, we sat on the couch in the living room.
In that living room.
Okay, where she can come out and peep and walk through or whatever. Wasn't no nothing crazy going on. You watch TV or whatever. And that was only for like a couple of hours. Wasn't no spending the night and all this other stuff. I didn't go to no clubs. I didn't do any of that. Any of it. Like, and then my grandma was not my friend. Like, I couldn't go to her like, oh, my boyfriend acting up, or I think this guy likes me, or no.
My kids didn't get away with crap. They didn't have the opportunity.
It wasn't until I became an adult and I started dating a guy that's my husband today, to where I could go to my grandmother, and I still couldn't talk about everything, but just general things. She was never my friend to where I could go to her, you know what I mean, and talk to her like we're girlfriends. And now it just seems like that's the norm.
Now, Gigi, hold just a second. What Jackie says, I've always wondered what these kids were doing out that hour. Exactly. What were they doing out that hour? But did you hear the part I said? Tristan told his best friend, said Aiden is cool because I heard he got a big pecker. But she said the other
How
way.
you know at that young age what's big and what's
And
little?
another thing, that was kind of a lover's triangle going on. Let me talk some more about this. Please, y'all, watch it when I do it. I just want to finish this up, and I'm gonna upload the interrogations. 3 of them: the best friend, the girlfriend, Aiden's girlfriend, and the third one is, I believe, Tristan's sister, if I'm correct, or whatever. But what's the point that I was leading to? Oh boy, I don't have a brain freeze.
That the girl was talking about, it was big. And I said, how do you know at that age what's big and what's little? How do you compare? What you got to compare it to?
Oh, thank you. Now, yes. What did Nail Gigi say?
How do you compare it? What are you comparing it to? How do you know?
You were in middle school. Where did you get this comparison from?
Right.
No, we're not talking ill about the dead. We're just talking in a way because this is an advice channel. We have to learn from things. This is my whole channel is about teaching. This is why I dig in deep about different things so we can see things and be aware, and we can watch out with our children. So nobody start gunning for me on the replay. Okay? Yeah.
Right.
Now, the point that I was leading to is, right? The girl, Fuchi's girl, pimple face killer, had a girlfriend. Now Tristan he had a girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? And she was friends with that girl. These kids was just crazy. They was just going all out there. So she was over here trying to mess with this girl's boyfriend. That was Aiden. Do you get the picture of what I'm saying? This is too much for middle school. I'm sorry. This is too much. Too much for middle school. All right, Black Lady Jane says, Donna, I am 5 years older than my sister. And if I tried to sneak out, oh my God, my sister would have broadcasted it. Emmanuel says, I monitored every form of communication my daughter had. I knew all of their friends. They weren't allowed to be around anyone that didn't know, and I checked out their house 4 times a night. Oh gosh, you wasn't playing.
And see, I was too afraid of my grandmother be trying to sneak out of the house Furthermore, she knew a whole bunch of people, church people, people in the community.
Yeah,
Okay, so if she
what
didn't
happened
catch
to
me,
those
one of them
days?
was gonna catch me.
Yeah, what happened to that? At the village. Like
Because
you
now
said.
a lot of parents now, the way society is so messed up. These parents just want to do them. When their kids get to a certain age where they got a little bit of independence, the parents are like, all right, whatever, I'm doing me. I deserve to have this. I deserve to go out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it starts. And children are very smart. They're very observant. Once they know they're not being watched like that, they're gonna try something. Kids
You're
will
right.
try you until you put your foot down. We all know that.
You are so right.
And
You are
so that's just that. And then a lot of parents, like I said, they want to be friends with their kids. And this gentle parenting stuff, whatever this is about.
And
So
like what this case too is, he's middle school. Mama, all right, let's go back to where we at. Mama and daddy, you never checked his room and knows he got a whole bunch of knives around the house?
right.
You didn't notice that he had these little weird pictures around? What's going on? Y'all just swept that up under the rug. Well, oh, you so busy washing the jeans. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Black Lady Jane
Or
says,
you just don't get up in the middle of the night and just peep in your kid's room.
yeah, we don't have no privacy in middle school.
Oh
Not trying
no.
to be funny. I mean, you know, you know, saying you got a little means of privacy, but you need to start checking, make sure they find. I'm still checking the book bags.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm making sure. Are you doing your homework? You're doing it on time. Are you, you know, you going to detention? You know, these kids they try to be slick, but middle school you have a little bit of control. Yes, high
Mm-hmm.
school it's starting to get a little. It's going to get a little challenging. But these kids was running amok. All right, what Black Lady Jane said. Does anybody remember the UPS commercial? It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Ooh, I remember they had those commercials. Did they do their
Oh
homework?
yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. They need to bring those commercials back because it seems like a lot of these parents need to be checked. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like they're forgetting all about that. But like I said, some parents they just so much about themselves. What
Mm-hmm.
Manuel says, all of my daughters boyfriends knew what I would kill them, and I made that clear, including my daughter's husband. She knows. I mean, she's with now.
Mm-hmm.
I love you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel been rocking me forever. He a good
Nobody
man. He a good
playing.
dad. He ain't playing. Rusty says, when I was in middle school, girls were still like boys. We all played, we all hung out. Sure, we separated and hung out with the boys. We were all we were still oh what I just lost, I'm sorry. We were still garage hopping, playing army, baseball, sex. No. Exactly. Middle
You
school.
didn't know enough about it to even, first of all, with me at that age, my grandma put the fear of God in me. And I just knew in my mind that if I had sex, I was going to get pregnant. And I wasn't trying to do that and bring no baby home to my grandma. So that was just, it wasn't even a thought in my mind like, oh, I'm getting
Yeah,
ready to go be with this person. And how
yeah.
do you even know what to do at that young age? Like, what are you watching or who's talking to you? You know what I'm saying? To even feel comfortable enough to give your body to someone else like that.
Let me tell you something. Now, Gigi, if this would have went to court, went to trial, it was gonna get ugly. Because I
Mhm.
didn't know this. I just remember when I first heard about it 2 years ago, and I was like, I can't wait to go to trial because I can't stand this pimple face guy. He got the nerves to kill this girl. But I didn't know
Right.
the whole deep. And then when they was doing the what did they call it? The sentencing? Because he did
Yeah.
not, he said guilty, there's no need to do the trial. But we've
Right.
learned so much through the sentencing. And I'm
Mhm.
listening. Then when I listened to the interrogation, I said, hold up, this is a completely different picture. This girl snuck out. And I couldn't understand what the impact statement for the family, the way they kept saying, this has tore our family apart. And I said, wait a minute. Well, that does make sense because you lost her. But the way they said it, I was like, there's more to it. What tore the family apart? These are all my thoughts and opinion. The sister seen her sneaking out the window.
Mhm.
Right, right.
Stop. They all
Didn't
woke up
stop
in the
her.
morning. So you know how everybody's doing the blame shifting. I'm just doing a scenario, shaking her. What do you mean she snuck out? What do you mean she's not here? And then they put faults on this or they just feeling guilty, so it's a mess. And if I'm correct, the sister that seen sneak out the window, you remember there was a sister that didn't speak on the impact statement, did they? She probably felt
Cause
so bad.
how old was Trisha? Was she 14?
What was it, about
13?
14? 13, 14, something like that.
And she
Yeah.
snuck out. It was like 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Cause then they go to the best friend's house
Yeah,
first.
they went to the best friend's house, right? Because they was smoking a little weed. Well, I don't know if she did
Mm.
smoke weed, but he was. Wait a minute, how'd it go? How'd it go? I don't quote me on it, but I think I got it right. But we watch interrogation. Aiden went over to the guy's house. I forgot his name, and he took some CBD, whatever you call it. It wasn't actually weed, but I guess to calm me down, he stole
Yeah.
it from his father. See what I'm saying? He didn't steal it,
Mm.
right? So they downstairs smoking it. So they like, yo, this ain't really work. We need some real weed, but this is all they have for the moment. But they do smoke weed, but they stealing from the parents. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
somewhere they was like, hey, let's call up Tristan. All right, no problem. So call her over. Here she go, bloop, jumping out the window.
Oh God.
And now she's dead. And another thing too is I think Tristan somewhere when I do when I play the interrogation, I need to hear your opinion. But I think somewhere it said in that tape that Tristan hooked up with the best friend before. And then later on, see what I'm saying? They all swapping each other, body fluids. And you know, 9 times out of 10, Nell, Gigi, and Melanie, these kids ain't using condoms.
No, they ain't.
They ain't using, they ain't using no condoms. And these boys don't know how to put that crap on their little peckers.
Nope.
What
It's
do you
like
know?
drinking out of Letecia's cup, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling, look, if I would have seen that, Melanie, I would tell, I would
Who
text,
drank out of the
text my
cup?
man and tell him we over. Why? I saw you share that cup with that woman. We're done.
What day was this? That who? Okay, wait. Who
This
drank
morning,
out of, what?
Yes,
Deb caught it.
13.
Her team, the entire team, both attorneys and Letecia, all drank from the same cup. What?
Just can't.
What?
You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up.
Are their memories of the pandemic already gone? I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
what the heck? Okay, on Fucci, I have an issue I want to raise. On Fucci, during the closing state or during the impact statements and the grandmother, Aiden's grandmother talks, she had one of her sons that she had to Baker Act. In Florida, they have what they call the Baker Act. Where
And that's that crazy girl's getting the OnlyFans girl. That was she tried to do the Baker Act, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. The Baker Act is where you can say a family member, juvenile or adult, is doing things and I fear for their personal safety or the safety of the community, and they're behaving like they have a sanity issue.
Mm-hmm.
And they will be locked up for a 3-day eval. And then from that eval, the court has the right to lock them up. So that grandmother had her son where he did, I don't know whether it was 6 months or a year, in a mental institution under a Baker Act. She should have seen Aiden's problems and somebody should have pulled a Baker Act on Aiden. And nobody did.
Nobody ever wants to mention the problems that someone else has until they get in trouble. They ignore it. And then when it's time for that person to face the judge, oh, well, they're bipolar and they got people. I don't want to hear it.
And I'm sick and tired of them doing that because, it's like now when a person says, I kind of suffer from bipolar and taking medication. Oh, you might be a killer. You understand what I'm saying? So you can have bipolar. You're not a killer.
You're not.
Just like I say, with narcissistic sociopath, not all of them is going to kill. You know what I mean? But some will or whatever and stuff. And it's so sad. I'm so tired of with this bipolar. Are you kidding me? Because really, what I was reading up on it, if they take their meds, they're pretty good.
They're okay. Yep.
Yeah. They take the meds, level themselves out. They're pretty good. They all right. Let me read this what Rusty said. Lord, Rusty got the jokes today. All right. Here we go, Rusty. I can't remember being friends, and we heard some older boys talking about girls and getting a piece of as we were like, what? a piece of butt. Why would you want a piece of butt? This is middle school. Let me tell you something. I had crushes on guys, and if I'm middle school, I was like, oh, I got a crush on. I'm just making up a name, Johnny. If I found out that Johnny liked me, I would have freaked. I would have ran. I'd be like, oh, heck no. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to like me. But these girls over here, oh, really? You got a big one?
Right. I didn't even think.
This is when you hear Nell Gigi, when you hear these interrogations, I just didn't have a chance to upload it because with this, I was busy with this one and other stuff. You're gonna be like, these kids was doing the most. This is middle school, ladies and gentlemen. We talking about middle school.
Middle school.
Middle school. And they was all living in a upper middle class area, nice homes. You know what I'm saying? Parents with good jobs. So this is not like no low income area, hood area that everybody say, yeah, what do you expect?
But you know what? I was watching, what channel was this? Dreading. I don't know if any of you guys watched that
Oh,
channel.
girl, I'm addicted to Dreading. When he
Okay.
uploads, I'm trying to go back and watch some of his past videos.
Yes, he is
phenomenal.
amazing.
And I want to send something to his channel because he does a lot of work because he goes in depth.
He sure does. He sure does. He did a video about the little guy we're talking about, and his mother and her mother, Tristan's mother and father, I guess at either it was the funeral or just a memorial service or something, and she was saying how her daughter was a little grown for her age, and that when the mother's friends would come over to visit with, the mother, Tristan would be in there with them and would be conversing with her mom's friends. And her mom had said, like, these are not your friends, these are my friends. You can't have my friends. And I was kind of side-eyeing, like, because I remember, again, with my grandma, and I'm pretty sure with y'all too, when friends came over, you wasn't allowed in the same room, and you better not have anything to say about what they're talking about.
Exactly.
You got popped in the mouth.
Yes, you get popped.
I did. You better not repeat what you heard. You shouldn't be even listening, but like you couldn't sit there and converse with them. They're adults. Stay in a child's place. So her mom knew, her mom knew her daughter was a little grown for her age. She should have been watching more, I think. I'm not saying it's Tristan's fault what happened to her. I'm just saying it's
Right.
like,
We're not
how your
saying that.
children
We all know.
are.
Exactly. That's why I was so much into, like I'm getting so riled up about it, is because this is middle school. You still have some control over your children. And we're not trying to put fault. We're just being realistic. Let's look at everybody just want to look at the surface. We got to go what's under and what's around, what started everything. That's why like some people come to me like, oh, why are you so hard on Harley? Really? Have you been watching Trout? You know more about this than I do. Why are you so hard on Al? Really? You've been watching this no more than I do. Why are you so hard on these kids here? Because their ages, what they doing? I mean, why is this girl was able to jump out the window that time morning? At that age, you remember we walk around and still check their room to see if they're there.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
they're up all night. Yeah. You want to check and see what's going on. So nobody do a door check?
And she was gone all night.
All night. You didn't wake up, didn't realize till Mother's Day morning? When
And late in the morning. Wasn't it like 10, 11 o'clock?
Yeah, if I'm correct, it was.
Mm.
And another thing too, I don't want to like put fault on the sister, but okay, if you got the sister, she like this boy, you the older sister, maybe I'll be like, well, you want to see him? We're gonna do it this way, out in a public place, and I'm coming along.
Right.
You know what I mean? I heard siblings do that. You look out for each other, but little sis, you're not going out here this time of night by yourself. It's not happening. See, but I think that she learned it from the other siblings. Just all my thoughts and opinions. Did Johnny tease you? I picked it up and I just reading it. Did Johnny tease you? If he did, oh boy, he was in love. I can't.
Yes.
I was scared of boys. I had crushes, but oh no. Don't tell me you like me. What? No. well, you're not supposed to like me. But these kids are like, well, do you got
So
a big one?
y'all know how when Letecia said that, what's that little girl's name? What's the Gannon sister's name?
Gannon's sister named, no, Landon?
Lena.
Lena. I get
So
it
when
mixed up.
she said that Lena helped her clean up the blood, do y'all think she was talking about Harley?
All right, we're going to get back into that one.
Boy, Gigi, that's a good question.
Yes, I
I
think so.
I don't know if it's all a lie. I
I-
don't know.
Because the amount
I
of
don't
blood
know.
that they found, she cleaned up. Okay, so if you think about the
Rusty,
timeline.
she's going to trial for that one. Yeah, with the time, because real quick, I'm going to say is,
Uh-huh.
these narcissists and sociopaths, yes, they lie a lot. They're dramatic, they make up stories. But somewhere in their story, there is some truth. You just got to be intense. You got to really listen to it. It's going to drive you crazy because, oh my God, the word salad is just fucking, it will put you in a nut room. But I think some of the stuff that she's telling, she was telling the truth. And I
Yes.
think that she was talking about her daughter, but she just wanted to throw it on Langley to her
Because she probably felt like Lena was because see, like, so Lena was 8. I have my son will be 8 next month.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of still tell them like, you better not say nothing, or, you know what I mean? And they'll still tell like, well, I saw mommy, such and such. Whereas like an adult like Harley's age, I feel like she could have threatened her, and Harley would have been like, all right, well, I just won't say nothing. You get what I'm saying? Am I making
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Mm-hmm. You have a point.
So I feel like she blamed it on Lena out of fear that Lena probably would say something, but they wouldn't believe her because she's so little.
Possibility.
Oh, they do say the investigator did say that in Lena's statement that they took that night,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't, that is not the last time she saw Gannon. So they don't believe that Lena was there helping her get Gannon upstairs or helping her clean
Right.
anything up.
Okay, so again with the timeline. So what time did Harley get off work? Y'all remember?
I don't remember.
Because I
4.
want to say it was like 2 or 3 hours that she had to clean up. And I mean clean up. Okay, the whole room, the bedding, her clothes, the weapons, the carpet, the stairwell, the walls,
Exactly.
all of that. That was a lot that she had to clean up.
And I'm
Herself.
that's
Right.
what I don't understand. How were you able to do all that by yourself?
Because when I clean the bathroom, I'm worn out, and my bathroom's not even large, so I can't imagine trying to clean blood.
Yes, that's completely different.
And I mean, scrub it to where see, dry blood is harder to clean up than when it's,
Mm-hmm.
like a fresh splatter. So she had to have had, I think she told that girl to go up there and get that stuff. And then that's probably when they was like, Lana, you take your tail outside. And her and Harley got to work. I
That's
really
what I'm
feel
thinking.
that.
I'm thinking because I was all right when I realized how much blood was around. First, I was thinking on the trip. All right. What I'm trying to say is these narcissists and sociopaths, they talk too much. They basically throw their own selves under the bus, right? And now she's in panic mode. So I thought in the beginning maybe when they was on this journey going back and forth. She ended up spilling the beans and told Harley. Or Harley said something, was questioning. You know what? Look, I did it. I couldn't help it. And you're my daughter. It's just you and I. Your dad is gone. It's just you and I. You have to help me. That's what I was thinking. Then number 2 scenario, now that I learned more about with the blood and the time, and I was like, wait a minute. How was she able to clean up all that blood that fast by herself in a couple of hours?
Right.
So I think when she came home, she said, look, daughter, I did this and you're going to help me.
Yep.
And that was it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Harley, I don't want nobody to get twisted. No, I don't think Harley was plotting to kill him. I
No.
don't think that she was okay with it. She just got caught out there. But I'm starting to think that I don't think Harley was that pleasant with her step siblings. I'm just saying. Because when we think about it, You remember when it was going on? Not saying she plotting to kill her. Don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about the step siblings. You know how that go. Big age difference. She's a teenager. These are little kids. They running around. They ain't, she probably didn't want to be bothered. Because when they went on that little romantic vacation, what was the anniversary? What do you need
Yep.
for a weekend to get a babysitter for when you got a teenager in the house?
Mm-hmm.
Why'd they pay for babysitter? Only thing I could think of, she didn't want to be bothered. You
Yep.
get what I'm saying? She didn't want to be bothered. Or number two is your daughter is a little hottie trotty, and you knew she's gonna have a bunch of guys up in the house. So you was like, I gotta get a babysitter to put her in one or the other.
So there's the channel I was telling you about, Melody. She posted a video of when oh gosh, Tisha, Harley, Lena, and Gannon all went hiking. Not Garden of the Gods. It was somewhere else. This was when it was like a warmer month. They all went hiking. Now Harley was vlogging it, so she had like footage of Tisha and herself, and a little bit of Lena, but you didn't see Gannon. But Gannon was there, and
Always
so
with his head down.
Yep, you saw he had his little head down. He looked so sad. They were not interacting with him. He didn't smile. And then a little bit of footage that you did see of him, he was walking by himself again with his little head down.
Every time you see a picture or footage of him, he's on the outside of the inner circle.
Yes.
Recognized it right away. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that made me feel terrible.
Oh, so let me read this one real quick with real, she said, because I want to hear everybody's thoughts. All right. I don't know, ladies. She did a crap of a job of cleaning from the forensics. I kind of feel Harley is innocent of knowledge. The last question asked by prosecution is if she still loved her mom. But do you remember, real? And when she was on the stand, what did she say? That statement. I'm not picking at you. I'm just throwing out stuff that's one of people's their thoughts. I don't want nobody to think I'm picking at you because everybody has a right to feel what they feel.
Right.
When she was on the stand, she was like, if my mom, I don't know the exact word, but if my mom used to do this, why she couldn't set me up with something?
Exactly.
That's a little weird. Then when I did I did commentary because I did a 2-part on Harley, and she just, she's a TikTok star. She's just doing her thing, right? And then she needed money because she needed money for this or whatever, her books, or not books like to travel, but she's going to, she's going to Guyana or Grenada to see her long distance boyfriend, right? And it's just things just really just don't add up. Is she saying she don't love her mother because she's mad because her mother didn't set her up with something? Or maybe she just don't love her mother. She's mad because what her mother did. Could be that one. We don't know which one. It's just that my thoughts, how did all this time the daughter didn't pick up on something? And the thing about it is with these narcs and sociopaths, when they start getting when they get frantic, she's under a lot of pressure, and I could just see her spilling the beans. And a lot of these narcs and sociopaths, when they have children, they feel like they own them. They don't look at them as individuals with their own mind. They're going to grow up and be a certain way. So with her thinking that she owns Harley, she could do whatever. She felt she could just tell her, and she's just going to help me.
Right.
She's going to help me clean up everything. So that's why we kind of think that maybe, but then again, maybe she didn't know anything. We don't know.
You can have it. You can have it.
All she did was sob, but not answer. Yeah, she sure didn't. She didn't answer.
You know what? I think that the cleanup job was crap because she had to hurry up and just get what was visible to the naked eye clean because she had to call the police. You got to think I don't mean it like that, but I'm just saying, think about it. She didn't think it was going to go as far as it did. She thought she could make the report, claim him as a runaway, and then after so long they didn't find him, that was going to be the end of it. So I think she just did enough to where if the police had to come and, maybe look through his room, you know how they look, did he take toys, did he take a jacket, whatever.
Right.
Just enough so it's not visible to the naked eye. She didn't think, okay, well, they're going to put this blue star all on the wall and they're going to pull the carpet up.
That blue star won't get you done.
In her mind, she's thinking, like I said, okay, well, he been gone for 3 weeks. We don't know where he at. Oh, well, let's move on. Maybe he's in Mexico. So, she wasn't thinking like how we're thinking, I gotta scrub this to perfection. She's just thinking I gotta get the visible spots clean so they can come in here and question me, and I can go live my life.
Yeah, because her first call was runaway, right? That's how
She
she first
called
started.
911 and said, yeah, that he was supposed to be home by 6, but she didn't know where he was. And they said call the non-emergency line.
Oh, okay, that's right. They went to the.
Right, Melody?
Oh, I think she got booted
Or she
out.
stepped
She
away.
didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
From my understanding, she
Yeah.
called 911 first, and then they said, here, we'll give you the non-emergency line, because
Hmm.
there was no sense of urgency from her. It was just, oh, well, I let him go over his friend's house, but I told him to be back home at 6 and he's not home. And so that's why, and then I think with missing persons reports, you technically can't file one, what is it, 48 hours? But then,
Hmm.
like with an Amber Alert with a child, they had to have been abducted or something like that. So they
Right.
couldn't do an Amber Alert.
But she gave a false report.
Right. And so when the police finally got there, you see how calm she was. She was so confident, like, oh, well, I don't keep up with his friends. His father does, but I let him go. The only thing she was concerned with was when they went downstairs to the basement, and she was like, oh, wait, I got to go down there so I can show him something. But I think it was just a distraction so they wouldn't look at that board that had that blood on it.
Oh, that's a possibility.
If I have my timeline correct.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Melanie quick because it was something that was lost at. But I remember defense said something about Harley. Didn't you go downstairs? You came in the house when you came in from work and you left out, the camera shows you changed your shirt. And
T-shirt?
and her room is downstairs next to Gannon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they was heading to like you didn't know nothing. But the part I'm trying, maybe you could answer. I'm not too sure. But the part I'm trying to figure. Okay, yeah, she's back. The part I'm trying to understand is when they said in the trial that Gannon was supposed to be downstairs, but it was cold. But
Mm-hmm.
Harley slept upstairs with the mother.
Right.
Yes.
All right, explain that one. It was Gannon supposed to be down there dead or not? Or I'm lost on that part.
So
That's
no,
the
he wasn't there yet, right, Melody? That was the night of the quote unquote fire.
that's the night of the fire. And Harley
Mhm.
is upstairs. She has Harley sleep upstairs because they ask Harley when she's on the stand why she didn't sleep downstairs, and she says because it was too cold. But
Mm-hmm.
earlier, when she's standing there looking at Gannon asleep in bed, they
Mm-hmm.
ask her, "Was it cold?" And she goes, "I don't
I don't
remember."
remember.
Oh, that's right. I don't remember. So okay, so let's get the picture here. It's cold downstairs, so we leave little baby downstairs in the freezing cold while she go upstairs and snuggle with mom because it's warmer.
Right.
Right.
Doesn't add up.
Mm-mm.
Doesn't add up.
None of it.
Doesn't
See, a
add up.
person wants to feel sorry for her, but some of me can't, because a lot of stuff you don't remember. And I just feel like when you meet with the prosecution and the defense, they go over what they're going to ask you and make sure you understand how to answer. I don't think they would have put you up there with you not remembering anything. That doesn't make
Hold
any
just a second.
sense.
The people that's coming in, feel free to engage if you like. And also hit the like button. Glad to have you here. We verdict watch. We're just talking about we're talking about this trial. We did talk about with Aiden Fucci, pimple face killer, and we did touch a little bit about Sore Rat, Daryl Brooks. All right, go back. I'm sorry there.
I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't like. They have to prep their witnesses, right? Like, they can't tell. So, they let you know what they're going to ask you, and you prepare. So, why would they call her to the stand if she's not going to remember anything?
Because here's what happened with Harley. So she lawyered up as soon as her mom was arrested
Mm-hmm.
because she's an
Sure did.
accessory after the fact.
Right.
We rode in that van with that body.
Mm-hmm.
And so in August of 2020, her lawyer had bartered a deal with the state to do a proffer agreement. They got her a proffer agreement. So she can go in, she can tell everything she knows or doesn't know, and she can answer everything. Anything she says in that proffer cannot be used to prosecute her,
Got it.
right? So she has a proffer agreement in August 2020.
Right.
And she does it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fast forward, Now she's on a witness stand with a proffer agreement that's part of the record. And if she says anything any different than that's
Okay,
on that proffer agreement, it's perjury.
got it.
So she couldn't change her story. And if you listen to her testimony, it was November of 22
Mm-hmm.
before she believed her mom was guilty. And it was her mom had claimed not guilty by reason of insanity. And then it was in November of 22 when it was explained to Harley what that meant. And that's when Harley changed her opinion of her mom. But she can't say anything any different than what's in that proffer agreement, because then it was lying during the proffer agreement. Now that gets you prosecuted.
So I'm wondering what happened that she finally changed her mind.
She was told what not guilty by reason of insanity means.
No, I mean with her mother being guilty.
It was when they explained to her what not guilty by reason of insanity means.
Oh, okay.
She knew that her mom had changed her plea, but she didn't know what that meant.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so it was when it was explained to her last November what not guilty by reason of insanity, basically saying, yep, I did it, but I was insane when I did it. And that's when she quit believing in her mom.
Okay. Now let me ask this. So when did Letecia's family get to Colorado?
Prince.
Oh, I can get a date. Do you guys want a date?
Yes, and the reason why I'm asking is because the suitcase was in the van with everybody, right? Wasn't it with everybody until she got another van to transfer?
No. The suitcase, the day okay, so Monday, he doesn't come home. Tuesday, Tuesday morning, Al's coming home. The suitcase got put in the Tiguan into Leticia's car and taken to the airport and left at the airport.
Right.
That night, Letecia came back with the rental car, got the suitcase, took it up to the S curve and dumped it.
Right, but okay.
So I
But
think it's Wednesday is when her family came in, and then she used her aunt's. They moved everything out of the house.
Gotcha.
Then she used her aunt's rental car and went up and got Gannon and brought it back.
Right.
Brought Gannon back and put him in the first moving van. And then the next day they had to get the second moving van and they had to transfer everything. And that's when Dakota saw the suitcase.
See, that's what I was asking, because I was wondering, had they smelled his body? But if the suitcase wasn't in the car with them, then no.
No, but okay, that's a really good point, and something to bring up is the bridge inspector on the stand said he did not smell the body in the suitcase until he unzipped it.
Okay.
So that's even another 4 or 5 weeks decomp and in
the heat.
In the heat. And he did not smell it when he picked up the suitcase and moved it. They didn't smell that. So you can understand a little more. Now Gannon was frozen solid when they left Colorado.
Right. So Melody, when I don't know if you got booted out or whatever, but I was saying that remember when the police got to the house after she called them on a non-emergency number, and the only time that she seemed suspicious was when she ran downstairs behind a police officer. Do you think that's because that board was down there with the blood on it?
I think that's because Gannon was in the storage room.
In the suitcase?
Yeah. So in closing arguments, that's what he says or maybe it was when he was talking to Dr. Lewis, that Gannon, the suitcase with Gannon in it, was back in the storeroom with boxes stacked on top of it.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Jesus.
Right.
This whole thing is it's just so
And she's
insane.
calm as a cucumber. I
Yeah.
mean, ugh.
Yes.
You know, oh, that's what you just said. The calm as a cucumber. It just brought something to my mind. I don't understand how they did not diagnose her as a psychopath. Because that's calm as a cucumber. The way she was so, she just jumped in, she moved the body here, moved the body there, such and such. She's not a psychopath. They didn't say that. All they said that she was a narcissist and borderline. I definitely could tell she's borderline. You know, with that can't be alone and all this kind of stuff. But I'm surprised she was not diagnosed as a psychopath. Letecia doesn't add up, but they didn't say. Didn't
So
say.
like what you mean, like when she met with Dr. Lewis, or just period in her life?
No, just appears like she was dealing with, she's being evaluated, and I don't understand how nowhere through it that she was not considered to be a psychopath. See, psychopaths are very spontaneous. They'll just do things out of impulse, whatever. They just do it quick, and a lot of her actions with her was impulse, and I couldn't understand. I said, well, how she wasn't diagnosed with that? She's running around. All right, she was late here. She lied about the story that she left there to go move the body. She moved the body from here. Da, da, da. She got people around carrying the body like it was nothing.
She sure did.
That was just weird. I never understood that. And I personally feel, and please, ladies and gentlemen, don't think that I'm sitting here trying to give any sympathy for this woman. Absolutely not. We already know she's guilty, but we're supposed to look at her as, was she insane or was she sane? That's what the trial is. Now with Daryl Brooks, no, we already knew you're just guilty. He wasn't there it was about his mind. He was guilty. We saw the pictures and everything. But this reproach in this case says, was she sane or insane? And I'm trying to look at this one. I'm like, I don't think she was properly diagnosed to find out. Like they said with the defense, they had some good points. Like, well, that was a peak of the pandemic. How did you evaluate them? How long? Was she shackled? Did you have a wall there in a separate room? Is that the normal procedure due to the pandemic? You understand? So it's a lot of things I don't think that she was evaluated for. If I'm making sense to anybody, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I look at like I think a lot of things might have been missed. Cause she definitely, I'm not a doctor. I'm just going by the research of my studies and everything. This chick is a psychopath. How is she not?
Because I guess
She's
maybe they just
crazy.
wanted to evaluate her just specifically to insanity. You know what I mean?
Got a point.
You know, just to prove, okay, is she insane? Yes or no? Not, we don't want to hear anything else. That's the way I looked at it. Like tell me if she's insane, or was she insane at that time, or what triggers, you know, could she have had to where she, it made her temporarily insane. But I mean, what could a child have done to you to make you be insane?
I
What
think
could he
that
have done to you?
her borderline personality just went over the roof. I think that, and I do feel, I could be wrong, that maybe she was such and such as a child by her stepfather. I kind of feel that she's not lying about that. Not trying to give her a pass or whatever, but at something in her past, she never got treatment. She never got taken care of. Seemed like the mother knew, didn't really care, or she didn't attend to it or whatever. So she's mad at the world. So now she's older and she's an adult. She got with this guy. He was married. She's always seemed like the type of girl. This is my opinion. One of those girls, y'all know in high school, the one girl that always want to be with somebody else's man, can't find their own.
Yeah.
That type person. Yeah, she was that type. She'd be friends with you. Next thing you know, you find out she's making a pass at your boyfriend, and you two supposed to be best friends. That's how she is. So she met this guy for whatever reason. I think she thought military, meal ticket, or whatever. He'll take care of my daughter. And they got together. It's okay being a part-time stepmom. Okay, I can deal with that. That
Right.
that 2 weeks in the summer or every other weekend. Okay. But then all of a sudden it became full-time. Wow. I didn't sign up for this, honey. This is full-time. But see, remind you, they didn't know each other that long, right? And they just got married. Gotta keep it in your mind. So, okay, I didn't sign up for this full-time. So now she's watching this kid and he's special needs. Wow. It's a little
Yeah.
extra work. And he's in the military, so he's not there often, which you should have known because you married him.
Mhm.
But you didn't
Right.
date him long enough to realize this. And you have a history. You have to pass because you was in the military family. So you should know. Why you surprised? And mind you, you're a teacher, I think with PhD and
Mhm.
special needs kids. Wow. That was very interesting to realize her career. And she's a special ed teacher. And she did
Right.
this. That tripped me out. So okay. So she's with Gannon. And I think that she was doing little things to Gannon, like she didn't want to be bothered. Let's say, for example, I'm hungry. Look, I'm busy right now. Just grab some cereal. Just little things.
Mhm.
I think personally that Gannon was screaming for help. I think Gannon has told his father somewhere along the lines that she's mean.
Yeah.
She raises her voice. She has a temper. Kids, they will talk, right? They will say things. And I think that he was probably like, you know what? Letecia's your stepmom. She's a good woman. She's just under a lot of pressure. And we have to make,
Mhm.
you know, okay, daddy. All right. I understand. Because, kids, they want to make you happy. They just love
Mhm.
everybody. They just love you unconditional, right? And I think he couldn't take it so much. And he probably, it's all my thoughts and opinions, ladies and gentlemen. So don't come for me. And I think that it was so much, he probably said to him, you're not my mommy. And I just want to go back to my mommy. You're me.
Mhm.
And she was like, excuse me? That's when the exorcist came out of her.
Yeah.
Who you think
Correct.
you talking to?
Because she was pissed about how much and I think that's another thing. She was upset at the fact that even though he wasn't with his mom full time anymore, he still loved her.
He
And I
still
think that really pissed her off.
because she felt entitled. Everything's supposed to be
Right.
about her and to be praised.
Right. I'm the savior. I saved you.
And I think there was times that Gannon probably was talking to his mother phone, and how much you want to bet she sat right next to him
Yep.
to make sure you better not say nothing bad about me. Because your mother don't care
Poor
about you. She
baby.
don't love you. Because she did
Right.
you be with her. You with me. And you're gonna
Mhm.
respect me. See, all this is happening because good old Al, he's away. So she could talk
Right.
to him and manipulate him any kind of way.
Mhm.
And this enemas, all of that,
Oh,
Oh.
let's not talk about it.
I'm just gonna I say I don't want to get too much in detail, but I will say one thing. Yes, kids can get constipated, especially if he was on medication,
Yeah,
even
mine
adults.
does.
But you know how to handle those situations before going that extent? It's
Right.
called good vegetables. Give
Yep.
him some good collard greens. He'll be okay.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
My
saying?
son
Give
and
him
his
a prune
chronic
juice.
constipation, I give him Miralax, but like you said, we give him lots of water, that good
Yes.
roughage. He plays outside,
Hmm.
and he'll
Yeah.
get better.
You'll be fine. A good
But
salad.
you know what?
Some
Yep, a
juice.
good salad, all of
Yeah.
that good stuff. But you know what? Every time that she talked about eating, I never heard her say she cooked a home cooked meal. It was always they were going to get sushi, Burger King.
Yeah. She don't. I don't
She
see her
talked about going
domesticated.
out to eat all the time.
She don't look domesticated at all. I don't see her cooking all that. You might get lucky on the holidays with her, and then
But you
she'll be
know what?
clueless.
Now it was hydrocodone in his system, but it was no Vyvanse.
The Vyvanse is what again? What is that? I'm lost now.
Vyvanse is for ADHD, and that is what helps keep the child calm. So
Oh, okay.
it makes them very tired and
I've
sleepy.
heard of Adderall. So Vyvanse is another one.
Yeah, Vyvanse. So during the day, it
Okay.
helps them focus, and
Okay.
then it tapers off, and then they get a good night's rest, and then you start over again the next day. There
Oh,
was no
okay.
Vyvanse in his system.
Right. Letecia says, and I think Al said it too, they don't give it to them on the weekends. They only give it to them on school days.
And see, that's where they messed
Oh,
up because you can't do those type of medicines like that. It's like with medicines for bipolar and depression. You can't take it when you want. You have to take it regularly or it
gotcha.
won't work.
It has
Right.
to be in your system. I get what you're saying.
Keep a constant level at all times instead of shocking
Exactly.
the system.
And
Correct.
see, that's why a lot of people that are bipolar and have depression, anxiety, usually when they have like mania, people with bipolar disorder, is because they haven't been taking their medications regularly. You have to titrate that. You can't just say, okay, Monday and Tuesday I'm going to take this, but on Wednesday I'm taking a break. No. Then you start having SI, HI, all kind of hallucinations. You can't do that. So you have to have that in your system like you said, constant. You have to build up a tolerance. Your body has to get used to that.
Right.
You can't just say, "Oh, well, you did good Monday through Friday, buddy, but this weekend you don't have to worry about the medication." No,
Right.
Because I don't think that medicine said as needed, right? That's the word.
it's no. Those type
No.
of medications are not as needed. No, they're not. He had ADHD, so he probably was hyper, and he can't do what you want him to do about that. He can't help that.
And but by the way, Letecia, she's a special ed teacher. Why she's not surprised? She should have been.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
Because when I found out she was a special ed teacher, I was like, "Are you kidding me? This
So
is you gotta be kidding me."
that wasn't in his system, and so just the hydrocodone. And I wonder
Okay.
how much was in there.
But like I said, I could see every time little Gannon was talking to his mother, she was right there, giving him the eye. Because he probably wanted to tell his mother more stuff, but he just couldn't do it.
He
Because
couldn't do it.
he was scared.
Oh,
You know, and he probably did with the time that he did say something. What happened? He probably got shot down. Somebody left me a comment. I don't know who it was. Can't remember who it was, I mean. They left me a comment. They said there was a time, maybe y'all know about it, that I guess Gannon said something about Letecia, and then they made him apologize to Letecia for that.
What?
Yeah, there was something because I was talking about it, and they said no, they understand, Donna, what you're going at because you understand human behavior. That's why you're questioning things. And they said there was, I can't remember what video it was, and they said there was a time that something with Gannon, and he ended up apologizing to
I
Letecia.
think I remember that.
You
Were
think
they
you?
arguing or something?
I can't. I don't even remember at all. They just put that in the comment section. I said thank you for leaving me that because I didn't know about that.
But see, again, that's out because my thing is this: children are very loving.
Yeah.
And I have yet to meet a child that doesn't get along with anybody. You know, like if they feel wanted, they feel loved, they feel appreciated. I mean, children, they're just awesome. So I feel like if your child has come to you and said, "Well, I'm not getting along with her," and you know what type of child you have, you all on TV talking about, "Oh, he was the sweetest kid," and all of this stuff, then it may not be him. Why are you making him apologize? And why does he have to go to counseling? Why is it him? Why is it not her? She's the adult. I feel like the adult has to set the tone for how you want your relationship to be with your children, right? So how do you know she's not doing something to him? Because
Mm-hmm.
you can and see, like with children, even if you mistreat them, they're very forgiving. They'll forgive you and move on.
Yeah, they do.
Unless you're doing it repeatedly. But most times with children, if you make a mistake and you just go and let them know, "I'm sorry, mommy messed up," or "Do you forgive me?" or whatever, they're gonna forgive you. They're children. They don't know how to hold grudges and things like that. So he didn't think like you said, Miss Donna, he didn't think to, sit down and just say, "Well, something's not connecting here and why." If I know my child is very loving and playful and helpful and all of these things that you said, why is it that he can't get along with this one person? After you already know what type of person she is, though, too. Like, she's manipulative. She's done it to you. She's a liar. You didn't think something was up with her. It's just him. He has to go to counseling. Something's wrong with him. That would have been a red flag for me.
I'm looking up. Have you guys heard about her federal lawsuit?
No.
Federal lawsuit? What you got over here, girl?
Okay, well, shoot darn.
Right,
I can't find the letter to read it to you, but in 2022, Letecia filed a federal lawsuit against the jail, the sheriff's office, Trinity Foods, and WellPath, which is their subcontractor for health, and that her constitutional rights are being violated.
Is this what? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
First, in regards to her kosher diet, because now she's Jewish, so she was given a kosher diet. She declared she was Jewish and she needed a kosher diet. That is common for inmates because a kosher diet is much better food. All right, so I'm not going to fault her. So she requests the kosher diet. Well, they take it away from her because she starts buying non-kosher food out of the commissary. So they took it away from her and they gave it back to her and they took it away. Well, now she's filed that they're the kosher food that they're feeding people who require that is not really kosher. And so her religious freedoms have been violated. The other part of the thing is that she's not receiving humane medical care. So she keeps falling out of her top bunk and hitting her head. And she knows she has a concussion. Well, what's happening is she's having nightmares and she's sleepwalking and she's stuck in the top bunk. So she's injured her head a couple of times and she didn't receive adequate health care for that. And she's sure she has a concussion. I think that's connected to why Dr. Lewis didn't ask for the MRI. Because she did injure her head since she's been inside the jail.
Got it.
Real quick, Black Lady Janine says, I've always believed children and dogs are excellent judges of characters. That's
Very true. Very true.
And we got to throw the cats in too.
Yep.
And the real Kim is right. It's also her medical treatment that they're violating. It's also about her constipation. And in it, she says, sometimes I need 3 or 4 enemas a day.
Oh my God.
Oh
wait
my
a
God.
minute. I'm lost. Maybe I missed something. Gannon needed it 3 times a day?
No, she's saying she does.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're talking about the report with her into the okay, there. Okay, I'm sorry.
In the jail. In the jail. Letecia's complaint is abdominal issues that she's had her whole life, apparently, and they're not giving her the right medications. Ugh, I think I'm about to fall out again. They're not giving her the right medications, and that sometimes she needs 3 or 4 enemas a day.
No. First of all, they won't even do that many in a day.
No, that's not even help. No.
I wish I could get, maybe the real Kim has access. I wish I could get the letter that we could read the actual letter.
Oh, that's the this is what Real was talking about, the 3-page letter?
Uh-huh.
Okay, the 3-page letter complaining. Okay.
Handwritten.
So is she addicted to enemas because of what her stepfather did to her?
Could be.
Well, she does have, she is complaining about abdominal issues. And
no, there must be something else going. If that is the case, she's having abdominal issues, but there's other ways to solve it. You ain't got to do all of that.
So while you have that picture there of her on that TV monitor in the courtroom, another issue on her 3-page civil lawsuit she filed is that because they're not giving her a kosher diet, she's having to eat out of the commissary, and the food in the commissary is really expensive. So she's only getting 1 meal a day, and she's lost a lot of weight.
Okay, well, Gannon can't eat ever again, so I don't feel sorry for her.
But let's look at her on that TV monitor. I'm just.
But you know what, too? Remember how
She
she
girl
was saying,
hasn't lost weight.
remember
Thank
how
you,
she was
Kim.
saying that Gannon had pooped his pants at the hike?
Yeah.
So children usually have GI issues when they're being abused. So that was a sign right there.
But let's go back to Al's testimony so we don't go too far off track on that.
Yes, what you just said, Emmanuel, electrolytes. That's too much. You're right. And electrolytes is important. I couldn't think of it, but it's like something about you can't do that all the time.
Yep.
That's what I say with kids. I remember, like, my boys was little. They were, be a little, give them a good salad. That's what the pediatrician told me. Give them a good salad, a little prune. They'll be good to go. And sure enough, Bingo. I don't know about all this. Whatever. I hate to even say it. Just don't sound right. Okay,
I
go
know
ahead.
what you're about to say, Melody. I know that he said because of the Vyvanse, he does have constipation.
No, he has
Oh,
constipation because he was born immature and his gut never developed properly. So
yeah.
constipation has been something they had always dealt with, but they were at a point he was
Oh, okay.
outgrowing it.
Right.
Yeah, he's getting older, and I
So
don't.
why would I don't know.
I can tell you Miralax works great for kids that have chronic constipation. I had a
It
couple of those
does.
kids.
That's what I have to give my
Yeah.
son because he has chronic constipation, and so I just give it to him like once a week with the good foods, exercise, and water.
Yeah,
And he does
you're
great.
good.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you said, like a little running around, play a little ball or something, or let her
Hmm.
do some jump rope. All of a sudden, mommy, I
Yeah.
go to the bathroom. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Just
They
go
be
in there.
running to the toilet.
You be running, and
Oh.
they good. All this
Uh-huh.
other stuff, honey,
I know. I'm not trying to read too much into it, Melody. Sometimes I have to get my thoughts out. I
No, I
just
hear you.
know, with children, especially smaller children that can't
Okay,
defend
DeVille.
themselves and,
If you ever find it, you
things
can
like
email it to
that,
me.
they usually one sign that they're being abused, and not just SA, any type of stress. It usually starts with GI.
Well, you know what, Lay John, I'm gonna show this video clip, and this video clip is Letecia Stauch admits to shooting stepson Gannon. Didn't realize it was him. All right, just a little clip. Let's listen to this. Listen to this madness. All right, let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Then we go back to talking again. All right. Oh, and the real, if you ever find it, you can email it to me. I'd love to see it. All right, let's get it.
Please, please, please.
Eggers, Angelica, Dad's Eggers family, and Lena were all in the house. Harley, Lena, I think Angelica was laying down, and Ty was on his way back. Ty goes to school in Florida. Ty was on his way back here. Whenever that noise again, I realized my handgun is in the car. I said, I never drove my car, it was in the car all day. Me and Andrew jump up, okay? Here, and I start going down the stairs slowly, and I run back up the stairs. And I was like, down the stairs. Now, I don't know who's downstairs, what's going on. I don't even know if anyone's in the house or if it's just the people looking or what's going on. When we go back down the stairs, Baker has the other handgun on him. Crossing over the front stairwell is someone it looks like a cape. Okay? So it's like a cape wrapped around them. Goes straight into the back bedroom. As soon as I see him go to the straight back bedroom, I'm gonna instantly go into protection mode. I went to go grab the gun off from Edgar because I thought the person in the cape. I didn't know who it was. I happened with the whole Michael the Archangel, the whole thing that happened with my stepdad. And when I grabbed it from him, the gun hits me and then hits the person in the cape. At the time, I didn't know who the person in the cape was. Oh, standing on top of the bed. I didn't know at the time it was standing on top of the bed until later on when I sat down with my attorneys and we put it together and realized it. I didn't know until that point that it was Gannon standing. Because prior to that, I thought the whole cape thing. We put it together.
Join Happy Optimum customers and get 1 gig fiber and
Over and over and over, and I sit and I cry with them. I did this with them and everything. The only thing that comes to my mind is that the way the cover was wrapped, that's what had to look like the cape, was the way that he had the cover wrapped around him. They can see what they want, whatever about me. I never was purposely hurt again or hurt anyone that I would have thought it would have been Gannon. Never in a million years, okay? Never. Had these kids all over the country. If I was going to do something like that, it would be somewhere in another country. Like, come on, like people want to kill people doing it because they want to take someone's life. That's not what happened. They paint me as this monster and I did all these crazy things. I never once knew it was Gannon. I, in fact, didn't even know it was Gannon until later on. The reason I did is because Lena, I guess the noise woke Lena up. If you read the report, Lena told you that she helped carry Gannon's body. That report in her interview, she says on that Gannon's body's not moving. That's because she was there and she helped carry Gannon's body to the floor. I couldn't get him up the stairs. I didn't even know it was Gannon at that time until I moved him up there. I lose it. Like I am all over the place, like screaming, crying. That's how Lena hears me. Lena tells me now Harley's still asleep. She hasn't woke up to read any of this. It's a hard sleep. Lena helps me tote Gannon up the stairs. I'm throwing up like blood, the side of him. Like I literally don't. Gannon is still alive. Gannon is barely talking. We try to get him up the steps. We can take the steps. I'm like all over the place. We get out the garage to go to the car. And I went out because at this point I think I was in complete and utter shock. And I know I'm throwing up because I see all this later. So when I tell you I know I'm doing something, I sit back and written a timeline and looked at everything and figured, this out because I was just on it. I remember being in the car on the passenger side and we were taking Gannon to the hospital. But I was on the passenger side, okay? Now my leg's bleeding, which if you look at the footage from the hospital, you can see where I got hit with a bullet. So my leg's bleeding. And that's probably why there was a little bit of my blood on the car. I don't know at this point. I don't know if she went back in the wake party. I don't know anything because I remember waking back up in the car and being like, there's no palm trees. Now you say, what is palm trees? In South Carolina, when you go to the hospital and there's palm trees, it's on the Grand Strand. That's why it's called Grand Strand. The beach, and then there's palm trees. I didn't see any palm trees when we were in the car, so I didn't think I was on the right road. But I was in the passenger seat, not in the driver's seat. Next thing I know, when I wake back up, I hear a loud noise, like a howling noise, like a noise, and it reminds me of like when my grandpa died, he made like this noise. That was the noise I heard when I wake back up and I'm in the garage, in the car. Now we look at camera footage and my car does go out 5 minutes. So leave the neighborhood. So what we put together is that it must have been when I went out in the car hearing the noise, that must have been when Gannon took his last breath and I was still out of it. Go back in and park the car. So, or come back to until Lena must have came back outside to the car. And Lena's asking what's going on, what's everything. I go in the house. Harley's face, Lena's face, they're all just like white. It's like they've seen a ghost. Like they don't even know what's going on. Police, like the whole world, as if this ain't really going on. Like there is no way this happened. Like there's nothing wrong, y'all. Everything's fine. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be home. That's when I started going through like all the motions of, going to go get this person. Because to me, it wasn't really going on. Like this was, you can't even compare this to a nightmare. To have gone through that, you can't compare it to a nightmare. That is far from a nightmare. And to know that he was speaking to me and Lena as we were trying to take him off the stairwell. And then it was like none of it was real. So I just started going into different personality of like, this ain't really going on. We gotta find him. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? I guess somehow I go on to the airport. I don't remember any of that, but I'm on footage going on to the airport. I'm on footage just talking to people and saying like, we're gonna find him. Like,
On March 9th, 2022, our commander-in-chief signed an executive.
I don't really like remember that vividly, but I know I did it because I've seen it. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't do it because it was there. Like me talking to people, me doing it. It was, I got just disassociated and I was like, this is not real. That there is no way this happened. So Edgar and another male, he's a family member, and I'm not gonna say their name. Somehow during this mix when I was like going crazy trying to go get Albert, and I was screaming at everybody talking like it's an accident, it's an accident. I think they have one of the things reports where I was like, I didn't ever know it was Gannon because I really didn't. It was someone that came. The reason he was taller was because the bed was sitting, like, you think a twin bed, he was standing on the bed. So to me or to whoever I was, thought that was a person in a cape. That's the only reason at all that the gun would have went. That is the only reason. And like I played this back, like I said, 50 million times in my head. Like, was I in the right mind to turn the light switch on? No. My mind was in the protective mode because he wasn't there. The police was there. He wasn't there. Where was he at? Like, this was somebody in the house. It was probably someone trying to molest him. It was probably someone trying to hurt one of us. So what I was already going through with my stepdad earlier in the day, Maria could have thought it was my stepdad. He could have thought it was anyone who was trying to hurt anyone else. She's going to protect. That part of me goes into protection mode to protect everyone else around me. So there was never a moment. There's no murder. There's no hurt. There's no intent. Look, I had everything I wanted in my life. Career, this, that, you name it. There's no reason to hurt anyone in my home. I gained absolutely nothing out of hurting a child. But if you negativity, shit, crazy as an evil stubborn, I took care of this kid and so like go through that. No, I had to carry him upstairs and he was dying. I could never in a million years tell anybody what it was like. It was not okay. It was not before because I felt working down with someone in a cape. Like, how do you even explain that again to mom that you think it's someone in a cape? You can't. You know? So then what happened after was even worse because I never even moved again. Not going to incriminate anyone, the male person. I'm not going to do that. Because it wasn't any intent there to harm anybody. There was no intent for anything. I went crazy thinking I could raise him in the bed. I was driving him around the Burger King, trying to get him Happy Meals. I freaking took him back to GameStop to get that $60 game that I told you about that I told him to get earlier. That's how freaking crazy I was going. But I was like, he's going to wake up. I don't know if y'all know Andrew Womack. I tried to find Andrew Womack's house. But he brought his son back from the dead from 5 hours at Memorial. And I grew up watching the Daily Gospel. Womack. So I just kept thinking, like, God gives people power to bring it back. And like, this is not supposed to be happening. All I feel not even believing this is even happening. That's how my mind shifts. Older male person finally at some point told my mom that I had completely lost it because I told you my mom came out here. My mom, brother, they were all like, you have lost it. You can't bring somebody back from the dead. They already knew, but they weren't kind of, involved in something that like, you are going crazy. You need to go to a hospital. I didn't have anything to do with body being moved. I really kept saying he has to get back to China. That's where his grandma and grandpa have a farm. That's where he was like, the person left me. Couldn't carry him anymore. And the whole thing was him to be buried in South Carolina. It wasn't he like, something else. That was the whole thing. I was not well enough to get in there. That's why the male person is the person who tampered with evidence and who tampered with the body. That was not me. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. I know with him and fired weapon and did this part. I'm telling you. It was him. I started the first case that was in the house. And then freaking, you think about a cape. What if cobalt colors are on a cape? Red, black. What do I think about? What was going on in my mind during the day for my stepdad? If someone was trying to molest him, if someone was hurting these kids, going through my brain. Or I never, I didn't even have my own handgun on me. I don't even like guns. I can't even shoot a gun. Not even me. Maria can shoot a gun. I can't shoot a gun. So yeah. And like, someone to get to hear the truth of it, it's like the hardest thing because people were like, oh, why didn't you turn the light on to see if someone's in a cave? What do you mean? Like, I sit there and told my therapists and people that, like, do you think I had that thought process? There was never even a thought to be like, hey, that's not even a thought I had. The innocent thought is when Maria comes, it protects whoever's in this house. That's exactly what happened. There was no pain. There was no hurt. There was no ill will. There was no anger. There was no passion. I looked up every definition they have in this book because I was just on it. None of that is right. That's not what happened. And you can't even say like there's no self-defense because you don't even know. I thought this was someone else. Like, how do I know who this is? I'm not in the right mindset to decide, to make that decision. I didn't know right or wrong to who this was, what I was doing. My mind goes to there's kids in this home, there's Lena, there's Carly, and one of my kids are missing.
Want to share anything else? Oh, Melanie, you said this. It's 12:17 in Colorado. The jury should be having lunch in deliberation room right now. You have any thoughts on this one? I think I have another clip. Okay. Are you all there?
I think she's just
Okay.
She just keeps. I honestly, I'm wondering if she's not crazy, right? Maybe she's not really crazy. She's just mucking it up, right? And that if she knows, she just keeps putting out different stories and different timelines and different alters and oh, now this story and now oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, deflect, deflect, deflect. That it just murkies up the waters and makes it harder. They already said this was the largest case that had ever happened in Colorado Springs. They spent the most money on the investigation in Colorado Springs on this case for the murder of one child, but it was because of all her different stories they had to run down.
Oh, I see what you're saying. See,
Right?
that's another thing to think about. I love this hitting every angle. We have to think of how, like I said, we all look at the surface, but the money they spent, like you said, because of all her different stories.
All her different stories, just
Yeah.
dirtied water.
And That money could have been used somewhere else. Let's go back to the Brian Laundry. All the money they used to look for her body and stuff because he won't tell the truth, or looking for him, and then come to find out the parents finally said something, and then they all of a sudden found the body. You remember that with the Brian Laundry? See, all
Yeah.
of this is time and money that you are wasting with people. And this stuff could have been happening looking for other missing kids. People that's missing, or, assault crime, whatever it is. But like I said, when this woman here, she sat there and lied and lied. So it's like, where do we go? Oh, well, she said over here. So we got searching. Oh, she said this. Then we get hit. Oh, you just pure flipping evil. You going to hell in a handbasket. Yes, you are. Do you guys think that we will be waiting too much longer for the verdict? I don't even know. I didn't think it was going to be this long. I thought by this time it was going to be wrapped up and we can already know because they had the weekend. But now that it seemed like they have more questions, I guess that I don't know.
Is she saying that on Sunday night that Kate rose up from the bed and she did what she had to do? Is that when she said this happened?
I think I missed that. Did she say in the video? I might have missed that one. Might have missed that part. Probably did. Oh Lord, Brian Laundry. Yeah, Brian Laundry. That was something else. That's another one. Another one of parents being enablers to their child's behavior.
Oh
Your
yeah.
your son comes home. See, I can't take these enablers. Your child comes home, and where's your fiance? Well, ma. Oh, really? Sit down. We're gonna talk about it. Let me go get you some tea. 911, get his ass out of here.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Laundry parents is enablers. Fucci's
Yep.
parents is enablers. Darrell Brooks' parents
Daryl.
enablers. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sick and tired of these enablers. I don't understand that. I understand we love our children. Yeah, of course, they're our lives. We have them, but you support this. That tells a lot about you as the individual. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think when this trial is over, when we get a verdict, the very first people I want to hear from are Letecia's family. I want to know
Oh, they did.
when,
I heard that they wasn't even in the courtroom, right? Didn't you hear
well,
something
they
like that?
can't be. They're under subpoena.
Right.
I want to know when they dumped her,
Oh.
when they quit believing her. I want to hear from her mom about all the alleged abuse this girl reports. I want to hear it. I want the scoop.
Hmm. I'm so
But
glad that we brought up this, and Nell Gigi brought it because I guess I missed it along the way. It's so much on this trial, so hard to catch up on every bits and pieces. But that she was lying like that when he at his job, saying his boss is doing blank blank, and he still stayed with her. I just can't get
Yeah.
over it.
And then I want to know what he meant when he referenced that. Okay, so he confronted her about the candle video, and if y'all remember, he was like, "The same thing you did to him is the same thing you tried to do to me."
I know about that.
Okay, let's hear
Okay. He was referring to I wondered that too, Gigi. Oh my gosh. And somebody pointed me back to his testimony, so I had to go back and listen to it.
Okay,
He's talking about the manipulation. She
got
was
it.
taping Gannon all the time and using it as manipulation against Gannon, just
Mhm.
like she did to Al.
But he let her. What man is gonna sit up there and put up with all of that? A real man.
Exactly, a real man. Hmm.
Ain't no
Yep.
man gonna sit up there and let no woman do all that to them now.
Yeah,
That's just too much. You done almost made me lose my career.
but we don't know when it was all coming together for him. I mean, this happened pretty quick. We don't know
Yeah,
when it
that's
was really
true.
all coming together for him.
My goodness. I don't think it came together until this happened to Gannon, for real. Because I feel like if this hadn't happened, they would still be together and she would still be manipulating him.
No, they've both testified that the marriage was over. They were both leaving the marriage.
Do you really think they was gonna leave each other though, or they were just upset?
Well, she was looking for a new place to live.
I think she was just
Well,
angry.
you know what? Nell Gigi may be because Maybe he wanted to move on to the next woman that could watch over his kids, could realize she was starting to crack up. She wasn't doing the job. She was complaining too much.
Yeah.
And if we rely on rumors, I don't have anything to back it up. So it
So
is
that
just a rumor.
everybody who's listening, this is our opinions. We don't know everything. Nothing's written in stone. So nobody holds nobody to what they saying. Now go on.
Right.
But there are rumors that he was having an affair and he had a
Oh,
new
yeah.
girlfriend.
And don't you remember when Letecia was talking? Who was she talking with? The FBI or whatever she was talking with, and she called Al a narcissist. And I'm sitting there saying, you just never know. He jump out of one relate. Not saying all cheaters is narcissists. Oh, don't get me wrong, but he jump out of one and move to another. So now he could have been with her. He might have a little bit of narcissistic traits. Not saying he's a killer. You get two narcs together. Oh my God, that relationship is insane. Now he could have been like, she's starting to be a problem. She's complaining. He could have been getting ready to move on to the next one. So maybe he was thinking about leaving her. And she knew because he did it to his last wife. Why won't do it to me? So
Right.
she went into panic.
Right.
And then she probably said, well, you know what I can do? I'll do something to the kid that he's going to need me. He's going to need that emotional support so he won't go nowhere.
Right. Because that's all she kept begging on those calls. Come be with your wife. Come be with your wife.
Didn't she say on one of those calls, I wish I knew what it was, Nell, Gigi, and Melly, she said something like, have sex with me and I'll tell you what happened.
What?
I'm telling you, I recorded it was one, I don't know, she did so many calls, but I'm about sure. And he was like, look, it's not about us being together. And I'm about sure she said that. If you had sex, I'm like, damn, she sound like a dude.
Right.
Some guys that say that, give me a little something and I'll give you the answer.
Yeah.
I'm about sure she said, I don't remember which one it was. There was so many recorders. I have to go back and it's going to take me forever to figure that one out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, girls, I'm going to jump off this panel with you. And I'm going to leave the stream running, but I am going to go get food because I skipped breakfast and then jumped on here and I might be hungry. I might have skipped dinner last night. So I might be hungry. So I think I'm going to run get some food, but I'm leaving this running and
well, quick question, Melanie, before you leave.
Sure.
Do you think it's gonna be any time for this? Because I was like, maybe I'll give everybody a break and just come back. Like I said, people want to get something to eat, and I kind of want to throw dinner real quick for later. You think it's gonna be anytime soon? They can click on in 2 minutes, or it could be an hour, right? We really don't know, right?
So in previous decades, verdict, a really quick verdict, a short deliberation time was always a guilty. And a long deliberation time was always indicative of a not guilty. But that's really changed in the last 10 years, and it's kind of opposite right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, so we don't really know what's going to happen.
The jury should be eating lunch right now. The court's not giving us as much information as like Wisconsin did or South Carolina. So I don't know. But I think it's safe to walk away for an hour. I think that's safe.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that one. Yeah, instead of me just keep showing these clips. So, okay, I believe Letecia recognized the symptoms of a cheating man. Exactly. Ooh, I'm loving y'all feedback to y'all getting into this. We're getting behind the scenes. You know what? I think I'm gonna do wait a minute. Real said something. What Real said before. All this crazy lady did was talk to Al, about being with her and sticking by her. Disgusting. Yep, that's what she was talking about. This child's missing. That's what he's worried about. All right, last one I'm going to read here. Now that I found your channel, I'm loving. Oh, hugs and kisses to you. And will you do a notification when you come back so I can hop back? Oh, yes, I will. So that's what I think I'll do. I'll do something for, I guess, like an hour. It's 2:35, yeah. And about Eastern time. I'm just saying Eastern time, whatever y'all time is Eastern time. I'm gonna set it for 3:40 Eastern. 3:40 Eastern. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Instead of holding everybody else here. And like I said, girls, y'all can come back up on here. So enjoy your lunch, whatever y'all want to do, or get back to work. I don't know. Whatever y'all do, take a nap. I don't know. But thank you for being here. Thank everybody for being here, for hitting the. Oh, let me just read this poll real quick, because once I get off, I'm going to lose it. All right, let me see the poll. It went up to 16 votes. And do you think Al should pay all expenses for Landon's travel and stay for the trial? And stay for the trial. 44% says absolutely, Donna, and 19% says come on, Donna, no. And then 38% says, well, some, Donna, not all. All right, so we're gonna end on that one. See you in about an hour. I said 3:40 Eastern time, and we go from there. If you can come back, if you can't, I completely understand. You can always watch the replay. All right, thank you, y'all, and everybody have themselves a blessed one. See you later.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Wait a minute. The ones on the panel, don't leave. Stay there.
Okay.
All right. Bye, ladies and gentlemen.